Best names in the boots business.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Okamoto sends one deep down the right field line, and it is off the wall. No, it is gone. The signal from the first base umpire, Junior Valentine, is that ball is a home run.
On Sports 1440.
And he drills this ball to deep left center field. And it's gone!
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Whatever it takes. Just trying to produce it here to put this spot in the innings. Can't get him out.
Little Brian Adams. How you doing? Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks, as always, for listening and watching the show. Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. Hey, we got lots and lots to get to on the program today. Of course, many of you are well aware of it, unless you're just joining us, that Leo Carlsson tomorrow will get a check. Probably not a check. Money transfer of $19.95 million on July 10th, 2026. Then he'll have a base salary of like $900K. And then next July 1st, he gets another bonus of $18.1 million because that was the contract the Philadelphia Flyers offered him. And he wisely, let's make no mistake here, he wisely signed it. And today, Anaheim didn't wait the full week. They said, hey, we know what we're doing. We are going to match the offer sheet. And they did. And now Leo Carlsson will be an Anaheim Duck. He's under contract for 5 years. See how long it lasts. So it's a great day for him. He knew it was coming, though. Like, it was just a matter of when he's going to go to Anaheim or not. And Carlsson says today, hey, this is where I want to be. I'm excited to be here. Heck, Pat Verbeek said, you know what? I wasn't upset about the offer sheet. In fact, I was flattered because it shows that what we've been building here is good. Hey, man, whatever way you want to spin it, knock your socks off. So we'll touch on that. Also, like, I'm sorry, but and it's not the first time, but the decision by Tom Dundon is one that will wisely and I think fairly be criticized because he put on his wife and 5 kids' name on the Stanley Cup. Why the NHL allows this, I have no idea. Because when Peter Pocklington had his dad's name put on the cup, Basil Pocklington, back in 1994. Guess what happened? When the NHL found out about it later, they put X's through it. You go watch this. You look at the Stanley Cup. Have you ever seen it? You're going to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Maybe you'll be celebrating with Jordan Martinook this summer. I don't know. But if you are, look at it and you will see it. It's all X's. I think it's like 16 of them through it because they said he had no affiliation with the team. Well, and I don't want to pick on the kids. It's not their fault. But when you're a 5-year-old, 7-year-old, you honestly think you have an affiliation with the team? And probably the worst part about it is the fact that to make that decision, he had to make the choice that Bobby Gorman, longtime trainer of the Hurricanes, long time, going back to the WHA days, he didn't get his name on it. Like, That's embarrassing. Honestly. You are that self-absorbed to think, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put, why does your kid's name need to be on the cup? Honestly. Right now, I know Viola's son's name. Yeah, he was an adult in hockey operations. It's completely different. You're putting a kid who's under 10. It's not the kid's fault. Again, I'm not blaming the kid, so I'm not saying his name. But the dad, that's just a terrible decision. It's an awful decision. What are you doing? So, and honestly, the NHL should be like, no, we're not doing that. And how could this? It's like a hallowed trophy. How do you not have a better guideline to say, hey, wait a sec, before we actually go to the engraver to put it on? Hey, I know that they have to have it on fairly quick because when everybody gets their Stanley Cup for a day this year, they want to have it with their names on it. I understand why, but I don't see the need to have to rush and allow this, because that's just, it's awful, man. You're going to take zero pride in, oh yeah, my name's on the cup. You're making a mockery of it is what you're doing. You're making a mockery of it. So that's brutal. So we'll touch on that a little bit. We got Justin Dunk, because of course the Elks said, hey baby, look at the weather out. It's going to be a great night tonight. I love it. So that's great for the walk-up crowd, great for the season ticket holders. An opportunity to see the Elks go to 4-1, which nobody at the start of the year thought the Elks were going to start the season 4-1. So an opportunity against the winless Redblacks. And come on, you lost to the winless BC Lions, who I think are a better team. Ottawa's not that good. You cannot afford to lose this game at home tonight. Here's an opportunity for the organization. I would argue tonight's game is more important off the field than on the field. You win this game, you're 4-1, you send a bunch of fans home happy, and then your next game is a Friday night game against BC, Nathan Rourke, on a Friday night, and you have the opportunity to grow your fan base and get more people coming and build some excitement. You don't have to win every home game, but this is one where, there's just certain games at certain times of the year that matter, that can be more of like a big picture potential, and that's what I think tonight is for the Edmonton Elks. And so we'll talk to Justin Dunk about that. We're also going to hear from Aaron Grimes, secondary coach for the Green and Gold. Also Joel DeBlanco, and we'll hear from head coach Mark Killam as well. Hear from you, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got Steve Bazan, a little Thirsty Thursday. We got our new round table that we have 4 o'clock. We're going to get to Spec and Cam Tate, the 2-minute warning. TR will be by, Livingston. So we got a loaded Thursday afternoon for you. As mentioned, the Elks, the only game in the CFL tonight, but it is a CFL weekend with games tonight. Then you got Toronto, Winnipeg tomorrow, Calgary, Montreal on Saturday, and Hamilton and Saskatchewan on Sunday. And we'll see. Rankin is still on pace to be the first 1,000 yards, 1,000 receiving yard player in CFL history. Also on pace to set the record for most yards from scrimmage, which is currently held by Mike Pringle. He did it twice with exactly 2,414 yards. Did it in 1994 and again in 1998. And Rankin right now is on pace for ridiculous amount. I think he's just under 3,000 at this point. So crazy. We'll see if he has a big game. We talked to him yesterday on the show. He's obviously irked with the fumbles. That's something that he's going to want to improve on here moving forward. So we'll get to all of that as well. Hey, the Toronto Blue Jays, we talked about it yesterday. Cease had the no-hitter broken up in the 9th. Also today, we have the World Cup. Now, when you think of great stats, 50 goals in 50 games is like a hallowed statistic, right? We all agree with that when it comes to hockey. There's not many guys who can do 50 and 50. First of all, it has to be the first 50 games of the season. That in itself makes it difficult. But how about this? So as France kicks off their game today against Morocco, Mbappe will be playing his 20th game at the World Cup. Now, that's spread out over multiple years. Do you know how many goals he has in his first 19 games? 19. He's on a goal a game pace at the World freaking Cup. I don't think it gets talked about enough, man. Like, this guy has been unbelievable on the biggest stage for France. 19 goals in 19 World Cup games. Now, he has the second most goals all time. Messi is ahead of him. And now this is most likely Messi's last World Cup. So probably a pretty good chance that Mbappe is going to pass him in the future. But Messi's played way more games and he only has 2 more goals. Like, a goal a game pace at the World Cup is highly, I think, respectable and very achievable. Now, speaking of soccer, and I keep seeing all these posts from Americans about how, well, all of our best athletes are in other sports. Like, I love how they just assume that, what, if you put a soccer ball at LeBron's feet when he was 5, he'd been an elite player. Really? Do you guys watch soccer? Honestly. So are you telling me there's no good athletes in Europe that are 6'7"? How come they all play basketball? You think maybe size has something to do with it? Could LeBron James be an elite level gymnast? No, he couldn't. He's too damn big. Like, it's such a dumb argument. Now, if you want to say Tyreek Hill, because he's quick, short, maybe, but that doesn't mean he's automatically going to be a great dribbler, because I have no idea if he would have the passion to do it. Right? Like, it's amazing to me the naivety of somebody who thinks if you're a great athlete in one sport, well, you would automatically be great in others. No, not even close. Passion, desire, excitement, and then a skill set for it. It's a completely different skill set. Obviously, in basketball, height helps a bit. It's a factor. Oh, there's exceptions, Spud Webb and a few others, yes. But it's a factor, right? They're talking any NFL receiver who practiced at soccer could become top 5 in the world. Like, oh my God. And these are people who consider themselves like sports analysts saying this. I'm like, oh my God, you have no clue. No clue, man. It's inherent. It's something you got to be passionate about. There's lots of different skill sets. It's not just, oh, I'm a good athlete and I can do this. Hey, Usain Bolt's the greatest sprinter we've ever seen. He tried playing professional soccer in a lower league. Didn't do great. Right? Now, he's the fastest guy in a straight line. Obviously, in soccer, it's not always a straight line, but there are areas that you could be in a straight line and you'd think you'd be able to outrun everybody. It's not always the case. So it's just so irritating at times how ignorant and uneducated some of those takes are, because that's what they are, for sure. Hey, Greg's, any injury updates for the Elks? Not really. If you look at Edmonton, the Pace is not playing this week. It's nothing serious. He will he should be back by next Friday, is my understanding for him. So Tennyson will also draw out of the lineup, and they're bringing in 2 linebackers, Jaden Pearson, as well as Vrady, who's got some experience. He's going to back up. I'm not sure how many reps he'll get in. Like, are you taking DeBlanco off the field at any point? I really don't see any reason why. As far as guys who are on the 6 game, they got a lot of guys that are on the Sixers. So, but Robustelli's close. I think there's a good chance he could make his Elks debut next week. Anderson still a ways away. Brandon Barlow's probably done for the year. Burton Cron done for the year. Wood Manzi, probably maybe Labor Day. All right, maybe a little bit after that. Newell's probably done for the year. Brock Mogensen is on the 6 game, but his doesn't sound as serious. There's a slight chance maybe he could come off earlier. We'll see. Royce Mechie started the season on 6 game after the Achilles from last season. It's been progressing slowly. He's not close to coming off the 6 game, right? He started there. The Elks, this is game number 5 for them. Game 6 next Friday. I could see there's a chance he might go back on another stint on the 6 game. So there you have it. So no real injuries there. The The Elks O-line wants to be better. I think their D-line wants to be better. Rankin wants to hold on to the ball more. The receivers want to make sure they're running every route correctly. The DBs want to stop dropping potential interceptions. They're doing great on knockdowns. Now they would like to do better on actual interceptions. And they're 3-1. That's what's good about it. They've raised the internal bar, which is nice. Now, the other thing I do want to touch on, because I'm sure there's probably a lot of you maybe who are unaware of it. It's not happening today, but it's going to happen tomorrow. And when we talk if I asked you right now, what do you think is the greatest Cinderella unexpected story in sports history for you? Do you have one? Declan, do you have one that comes off top of your head as like your favorite or best Cinderella story, unexpected success story in sports?
I do. James Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson.
All right. It's a good one. It was, and like Mike dominated the fight early, just couldn't finish him.
Some people think Buster Douglas got a long count in that fight as well.
Oh, what he got knocked 100%. Yep. Yeah, but that's a good one in boxing, because I'm telling you, if you're a fan of the underdog and the unexpected, then you might want to tune in tomorrow, because I think we are even getting this far might make it the greatest Cinderella story ever, because it's come out of nowhere. Like Buster Douglas had to do something to get to the title fight, right? Like now, you know what? You still have to beat a few people to get a title shot. Arthur Ferry. How many of you have heard of him? Be honest. Because I hadn't heard of him until like earlier this week. He's a young Brit tennis player who, prior to this, he'd never been past the third round of an ATP event ever in his career. He was a wild card entry in the major that's going on right now in tennis. And he's only the fourth wild card to reach a major semifinal. But the other three were all really good players. Jimmy Connors in 1991. He was an 8-time Grand Slam champion. You know, he got a wild card berth at the age of 39 because of his career. And you know what? He had a great 10 days. Good for him. Henry LeConte, 1992 French Open. He was a former top 5 player in the world. He'd been in 8 Grand Slam semifinals, but had fallen down the rankings due to injuries. And so they looked at his reputation and said, hey, we'll give him a wild card entry. And it worked. He went all the way to the semifinal in 92. Goran Ivanisevic back in 2001 at Wimbledon. Now, he was the number 2 best player in the world. He'd been a finalist 3 times at Wimbledon. Right? Won a few majors. Like, he was a good player. And he actually won Wimbledon that year. He was the first guy to be a wild card, but he was an elite player who just, late in his career got hot again. So I don't know if I really consider that a Cinderella run. Arthur Ferry was just a guy on tour. He'd never went past the third round, and here he is now, fresh off beating number 9 Flavio Caboli on Wednesday. He's now into the semifinal. And obviously he's a major underdog, no question. But he'll take on Alexander Zverev tomorrow. Zverev. And even if he doesn't win, it's still got to be one of the greatest out of nowhere stories that you've seen. I don't know. After this, just getting to the semifinal, Deck, can you find out, like, where is he ranked now? Like, how far up the rankings does he go because of this one event?
So he's currently ranked 114th, but I'll check what he'll cap out at.
Okay. So, pretty good for him, man. So, if you like those kind of unexpected stories, you might want to check it out at Wimbledon tomorrow. Quick break. We'll return. The Edmonton Elks are hoping there's no Cinderella story tonight. And oh, by the way, I got a pair of seats, great seats for the game tonight. Do you want to go? The weather looking good. Text in Elks with your name and your email. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions. Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 five-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Canada's men's rugby team at Clark Stadium, July 11th. Don't miss an international doubleheader as Canada takes on Portugal and Tonga battles Spain. Build the home field advantage for Team Canada. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Thursday afternoon, we continue on. No score around the 25-minute mark, give or take, here between France and Morocco as they do battle at the World Cup of soccer, which, of course, will wrap up next weekend. You've got France and Morocco, and they will play the winner of Spain, Belgium tomorrow. Then on Saturday, the final 2 quarterfinals, which will feature Norway, England, and Argentina and Switzerland. Semifinals Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and the final will be Saturday at 3:00 our time. So who will be in it? We shall see. France, Argentina, those seem to be the favorites at this point, but we'll see, man. Spain, still can't overlook Spain by any stretch of imagination. I don't know, something about Belgium, man. Are we going to get a penalty here? I think Mbappe is getting is he getting a free kick? Ooh. Something to watch for, buddy. Remember, he's got 19 goals in 19 World Cup games. So we shall see. Shall see. I don't know if it's is it a free kick? Deck, you let me know if it's a free kick or not. Let's get to our CFL report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC or furnace. Bundle them together and saving more at legacyheating.ca. From 3 Down Nation, Justin Dunk joins us once again. Justin, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Doing well, Jason. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, there's lots going on in the CFL. I guess let's start with the quarterback injuries. Hamilton or Winnipeg? Who do you feel more comfortable with at the quarterback position now on those 2 teams?
That's an easy one, man. Usually you bring the heat, Jason. It's definitely Winnipeg.
You think Drew Brown automatically?
I'm not saying it because of Drew Brown. I would say it more because of Taylor Elgersma and the depth there. Okay. I do think that Hamilton does have some intriguing depth with Jake Dolegala and Trey Ford and their history of starts in the Canadian Football League. But I think there's more upside there, especially with Elgersma to be realized. That said, I have had people tell me in Hamilton, just because Trey Ford isn't starting doesn't mean that Scott Milanovic doesn't trust him at this point. And people have reminded me that Bo Levi Mitchell was benched early on in his time with Scott Milanovic there in Hamilton. So let's see how it plays out. But I would definitely point to Winnipeg because I think they're better built to win without a Zach Collaros compared to Hamilton without Bo Levi Mitchell.
I think it's fair that the drop from Bo is bigger to their backup than the drop from Collaros, right? Is that fair?
That's kind of what I'm getting at with this, right? I'm still not sold on Drew Brown and the fact that he was not only not dressed last week, Jason, after supposedly being with Tommy Condell for the last couple of years and knowing the offense, but what was he doing on the sideline? He wasn't helping Taylor Elgersma. He was chatting to his buddy Collaros. So in my opinion, is this a guy that you want on your football team who comes in there and stands around and doesn't actually help a rookie CFL quarterback try to win? Make it make sense, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, that's totally valid point. I think it's totally fair. So now let's look at tonight's game. You got the 3-1 Elks. Now let's be honest. There's not a lot of people that thought the Elks were going to be 3-1 to start the season, but they're full marks for their 3-1 victory. They did not like their performance in BC last weekend, so I think they'll want to bounce back. Meanwhile, Ottawa is struggling. If you're the Elks, what do you feel is the best way to attack the offense of Ottawa?
To attack the offense, I think you try to unleash Malik Carney as much as you can. And there's a bunch of other pieces up front, I think, that can do damage for Edmonton. But to me, it's Carney. And sometimes his sack stats don't always tell the real story because he's drawing double teams. He's still creating quarterback pressures. I saw it firsthand in Saskatchewan. He's continued to affect his defensive line and the opposing offenses in that way in Edmonton. But I think it starts with Carney. He's an absolute beast, and he continues to tear up his one-on-one matchups and command double teams and chips and stuff like that. Then I think the Edmonton front can have success against Ottawa.
What do you make of Rankin? And like right now, it looks like, it's pretty comfortable. He doesn't have to be lights out to get 1,000 and 1,000. You think he does it?
He still has to keep going, though. That's the real test. I think there is a legitimate possibility, perhaps the best chance that we've seen in the Canadian Football League since Andrew Harris came really close. He had well over 1,000 rushing yards and I think had over 800 receiving yards. There was a season there with CJ Gable and Hamilton where I thought it was legitimate, but I think Rankin is going to take a real run at this, but the health is going to tell the story, right? It's all fine, well, and good to have these fun projections to start the year. Tyson Philpott is on pace now to go for over, I think it's 2,600 receiving yards, a single season all-time record. It's like over 2,000, just over 2,000. So I think it's certainly possible. He needs to stay healthy, but most importantly, Jason, Jordan Maksimic's got to give him the football. Like, I don't understand how if you're Edmonton last week, you're throwing the ball over 50 times with Rankin in the backfield. Yes, he's going to catch some of those, but I think you got to lean on him more in the run game.
Yeah, well, they couldn't run the ball, save their life. And I think that, to me, I didn't love the lack of creativity in the run game. Now, I think it was the first time all year where the O-line, I thought, got out physical. And even the defensive line, they couldn't stop the run. It was a game where they weren't as good as they had been off the line of scrimmage. And I would think that could change tonight. Rankin's got to get 20 touches minimum for me every game, however the combinations. But I do agree with you. I'd probably have more in the run game. But, he still finished. He only, I think, had 17 touches last week. So still, I don't care. When I'm game planning, I'm looking at the number. And unless it's a blowout, I'm making sure Rankin has 20 touches every game minimum. He's
I'm with you. And I think a number of those have to be in the run game. And, we can talk about creativity. It's hard to see it until you dive into the X's and O's and really look at the coach's tape. But I think you got to stick with the run game. It wasn't like Edmonton was getting blown out last week in BC. So that's what I didn't understand in terms of not staying with the run game. I felt like that, to your point, of Rankin getting 20 touches a game is something that Edmonton needs to make the focal point of their game, right? There was times in that first game in Ottawa where they won the season opener, where they ran the football and Ottawa knew what was coming, right? It's happened with other teams throughout the league at various times. Like when Tommy Stevens comes in the game for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, everybody in the building knows that the Roughriders are running the football, and he still is able to convert on those short down situations, or short yardage situations, I should say.
Yeah. Justin Dunk joins us. Where do you come out on the Stampeders?
Need to see more. It was an absolute blowout, and Vernon Adams Jr. deserves credit for that display that he put on the Argos defense. Unbelievable.
Yes.
But inconsistent, I think is the word to use with them right now. I do think this football team will get better as Folarin or Malade gets back into the flow, and Jalen Hutchings as well. Got to remember, Jalen Hutchings had an injury which led to his release from the Minnesota Vikings in the offseason. So I think defensively, if those two guys are healthy and going well, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And if Vernon Adams Jr. can not even play to that level consistently, because it's unbelievable, but can play consistent, mistake-free football for the most part, taking care of the football, I think Calgary will be in the mix in the West.
You look at that, they go into Montreal, and I think it's Als versus Saskatchewan, probably still the two best teams. Edmonton has to do more before they get in that category for me. They're close, but they're not there just yet. And, Davis Alexander's having himself another great year. You look at that Stamps defense, what can they do to slow down Davis?
Whew, man, that's a tricky part with Calgary, is that front has to really affect the quarterback or potentially get home, because otherwise that secondary right now is suspect. And Davis Alexander, we've seen what he can do. I think he already has 2 400-yard games, been throwing the ball all over the park, especially to Tyson Philpott. But I think if you're the Stamps going into that game, that's the focal point. Take away Tyson Philpott. I know Tyler Snead is really good, but make those other receivers beat you. I think that should be the focus for Calgary in that football game against Montreal. And Jason, I'd push back. I think Edmonton is right there with Montreal, having beat them. I know it was in Edmonton, but I think you can talk about Edmonton at the moment, still more to prove, as one of the upper echelon teams in the league with Saskatchewan and Montreal, especially with the injury to Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah. Well, I look at the Elks, and it definitely improved. Ed Hervey's improved both their D-line and offensive line. Their secondary's got way more experience this year. They brought all of them back. They got some injuries at the middle linebacker position, but they got 2 Canadian starters at linebacker, which you don't see very often. And Jabomi looks like a hell of a player to me, man. Like, to draft a guy 3rd overall, obviously, his first game had a few hiccups, like I would expect for a young player, but overall, man, I like a lot of what he can do. And DeBlanco's only getting better. He was an absolute beast in that game. Like, I can't remember the last time a team had two starting, and I know that, Jabomi's filling in for some injuries right now, but there's a realistic chance down the road here that they could have a Canadian at Mac and Will for a long time in Edmonton.
Definitely. In Edmonton, you look at Joel DeBlanco and the way he's flying around the field and setting the physical tone down in and down out. It's unbelievable. And I'm with you on Daryl Jabomi. I think this guy is one of, we can call it now, I think, the rare CFL draft picks to come in and look the part and seem like he could have been a starter perhaps from the jump. Maybe it's not necessarily what you want if you're Edmonton, but I think you keep putting that guy in there in a starting situation, and he's only going to get better and correct those mistakes.
Jason Dunk joins us here, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Week 6 in the CFL. It's fifth game for the Elks. They start it, then Hamilton, Saskatchewan ends it. And, we talked about it off the start. You got Winnipeg at home against Toronto. Hamilton's on the road. Both teams are going to have their backup quarterback. Now, we've seen this in the past, and you don't really know what you have until the guys get in there. But if you looked at, I would think Winnipeg has the better chance for success because the Argos defense isn't very good, right? Like, as great as their offense is, at least for scoring touchdowns, they give up almost equally as much. So as from a matchup perspective, I think there's way better chance that you could see some success from Winnipeg.
I think so. Our guy, Adam Chernoff at 3downnation.com, likes the over in that football game, and it's set at 59.5. And the over-under totals to start the year, Jason, have been unbelievable, historically high. Yeah. If you check Chernoff's column, he's got that every single week in there. So, yes, I would agree that there's a better chance for success for Winnipeg going against that Toronto Argonauts defense. That said, the Argos defense at times has looked okay, but overall need to be much better. I think the real key for the Argos is if Chad Kelly can take care of the football, that offense has been on an absolute tear. And perhaps the Argos have another win if there's not a special teams error there that happens in Montreal, which leads to a touchdown on special teams, and they ultimately lose the game. Now, Calgary blew the doors off them. There's no question about that. But I think Toronto could show that they might be a contender in the CFL this year.
Lastly, what are you hearing as far as, that we've got some significant changes coming to the CFL next year, Justin? And what have you heard as far as like stadiums? Any update on the stadiums and, how they're going to be all retrofitted to ensure that they're going to be to 100 yards?
That's a mystery wrapped in an enigma. I believe that there was some chatter that some of these changes, might be pulled back on, but by all accounts, it seems like it's full steam ahead, at least from the league office's perspective. But there are still issues, like, for example, at McGill, like that stadium gets used not just for Alouettes football games, 9, 10, or 11 times a year if they host a playoff game, like almost every day by McGill University for intramurals, team practices, all the rest. The same for the other CFL stadiums that are shared with universities. So I do believe that there are some logistics to work through, but it seems like Stuart Johnston is committed to it. That said, to your point and your question off the top, I would, if I was everybody out there, including the hardcore CFL fans, keep an eye on it because there are a lot of hoops to jump through still to make them happen.
Justin, great stuff, buddy. We appreciate it as always. Enjoy the week.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. That's Justin Dunk from 3 Down Nation. If you're a CFL fan, definitely a great place to go for all your CFL coverage. And the points early on this year in the CFL, hey, I love offense, man. I'm a big believer that fans go to the games. Hey, they like a good defensive stuff, but they want points. They just do. It's lead changes. It's more entertaining. Some bigger returns, some bigger plays. And early on this year in the CFL, we have seen a ton of it, which is awesome. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. It's a Thirsty Thursday. And how about this? Mbappe had a chance. He had the penalty kick. And Bono, no. Now, I'm sure you ask him, you watch that. That wasn't the best penalty kick attempt by him. Not really that close in the corner. Didn't get much on it, but still, hey, you save a penalty on one of the greatest strikers right now in the game. It's Messi missed his last penalty. Now Mbappe misses his. What's going on? These guys are better when they're playing, don't have time to think, I guess. We'll see. We'll return as the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice. EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365. UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service. Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project. Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
What's it like to score a winning deal at Car West Leduc? Like raising the cup in your hometown on your birthday. Feel it now at Car West Leduc. Experience a vast, uncompromising selection of top-quality used vehicles with no extra fees. Trucks, sedans, vans, SUVs, and more. Backed by family-run service and top dealer ratings on Google. So when the final siren goes, you go home with a deal you'll never forget. Car West Leduc, 6514 Sparrow Drive Leduc, or at carwestautosales.com.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com. edmontonsports1440.com.
He's not just another pair of glasses. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for checking out Edmonton Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Of course, we have the Edmonton Elks back in action tonight, taking on the winless Ottawa Redblacks. Elks looking to go 4-1 to start the season. Love it. Hopefully they can do it. Good for them. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440 is where you can text us. Gregor Show always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. It's Thursday. You know what that means. The Daily Grand. Your chance to win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. That's 7.3 million bones. I love it. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time now for a Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. Your best choice if you're looking for alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverages, wines, cocktails, beers, you name it, they got it. Coolers, everything. Sherbrooke Liquor, South Side, and of course the OG location on St. Albert Trail and 118th Avenue. Steve Bazan joins us once again, and today I guess is this is keeping it high and tight day on the show.
Yeah, buddy, we're going with light beers today. So it's we've
really light,
super light.
Holy
beers.
cow.
We've tasted dozens of beers over the past several months.
Yep.
Different themes. You mentioned non-alcohol beers. We have tons of non-alcohol beers.
Yeah.
It's just a great category. And most of the time when I roll in here, it's like I got at least 1 10%er in my belt. Usually, I like those stronger beers. 7 to 10% is kind of my wheelhouse. But there's just this one little segment of beers that we haven't quite explored yet, and it's starting to be a bigger trend in the craft beer world. So we're talking light beers. We're talking beers that are 3.5% or lower.
Lower,
yeah.
Okay.
So I think there's just a certain connotation with light beers. When people hear that, you think of the sort of the big brand name stuff. It's just pale, fizzy.
Yeah, it's got no taste to it.
Yeah, it's innocuous. I mean, it has its place and everything, but I want to challenge that a little bit and get a selection of some light beers, some local Edmonton stuff, some local Canadian craft beers, and just challenge those preconceived notions about what light beer can be.
All right. So today we're trying out it's called table beer.
Yeah, table beer. So that's a style of beer. It's from so it's a collaboration between Sea Change Brewing, which if you're an Edmonton craft beer fan, you've undoubtedly come across Sea Change. They're just everywhere. They're just beasts. And then it's a collaboration with Nokomis, which is a little rural brewery in Saskatchewan. And a table beer, it has its roots.
It's a little tart.
Yeah. It's in the similar family as a Saison. It's kind of like this farmhouse ale category of beers. And a table beer specifically, it's meant to be shared at the dinner table, just something really light that everyone can partake in while they're eating, just light but still flavorful. They add so that it has the traditional sort of French Belgian yeast that goes into that style, so that gives it a little bit of character, and they add a little bit of Sicilian lemon puree to it as well, which you may pick up on the nose. It's kind of got like a lemony, and that's the thing with these ones, because usually when you think light beer, you just want to crush it, not think about it too much. Which
honestly, I don't think you can crush that beer.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the common thread through all these is you wouldn't, when you look at the percentage, like this is 2.9% ABV. You would think you could just down it immediately, but it's got so many different flavors going on. It's nice and complex, but still refreshing. And I think they did a great job with it.
Like it's really like the aftertaste of it is very strong for a 2.9.
Yeah, it's got that long finish to it. And a lot of these you'll see. Another common thread is they use really complex grains and stuff in the brewing recipe. A lot of times beer is just made from barley. Sometimes the lighter beers use rice or corn to sort of lighten the body. But all these have wheat, oats. You'll see spelt, rye, like a whole bunch of different stuff. So it's got a lot of ingredients in it that give it that complexity.
All right. And so the next one here is a citrus grisette.
Yeah. Again, so the first three are sort of in that farmhouse ale family that I was mentioning. So a grisette, very similar to a saison. The story behind a saison, which is a centuries old style, it used to be drank by farm workers when they're working in the fields and they need a little hydration, and maybe at the time water wasn't the most sanitary option. So it's something that that farm workers would drink throughout the day, and they just wouldn't, it's a nice light beer. You wouldn't get plastered or anything. But a grisette came about a little more recently.
I like this one better.
Yeah, it's from the same region that the saison was born from, but this is more for the industrial mine workers. Had this sort of grisette style beer. So again,
it's got a little orange.
Yeah. So it's got a
kind
combo
of finish to it.
It's called a citrus grisette. They add a little bit of Citra hops to it, which gives it that character. There's a little bit of orange added to it. But I think most of the aroma and the flavor actually comes from the style of hops they use.
Okay.
And it's from Blood Brothers out of Toronto. They do some really great stuff. And now, so moving on to number 3, this sort of finishes the trilogy of farmhouse ales. So this is one of my favorite Alberta breweries, the Establishment Brewing Company out of Calgary. Definitely getting a lot of international recognition for their beers. They do one that's really light, 2.9%. It's called the Shays Lounge. It's farmhouse ale, or a table beer, they call it.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit different. So it's the Shades Lounge, which I love, and they add some black limes.
Shades Light Lime, they call it.
Yeah. So I
have a really nice border collie on the picture of a border collie.
Yeah, it's a nice
on
little
the can.
like Polaroid.
So for the dog lovers would like it.
Yeah. So this one is way more traditional, I would say, in its techniques. They use some wild yeast in it, which gives it like a little kind of like a funky sort of aroma to it. Very rustic, very a lot of esters going on. It's like a little peppery, a little like
that one's very lemony.
Very lemony, yes. And you get a lot of the tartness
but
from
very
that
light.
Yeast.
Very light.
Super light. Again, another 2.9% one. And black limes. Have you ever? Do you know what a black lime is? Have you ever like used it in cooking or anything like that?
No.
It's common in Persian cooking, and it's basically you boil a fresh lime in salt water and then immediately put it out in the sun until it sort of oxidizes and turns black, and then they use it as commonly used for cooking and that sort of thing. But they add it to this beer to give it that distinctive character.
We were last time I was in Hawaii. We went on I went to the Big Island and we went on a coffee plantation tour. And at the tour they had orange limes in the trees. Okay. And so he took the orange lime down, and so then he cut it open like it was fresh, and he cuts it open. And he said, "This is what you put in a beer, but you take a bit." Dude, like I've had lime before. That was the most sour. Like I took a bite of it, and I was just like, "Oh!" Like my eyes were watering. Crazy. But it was unbelievable flavor.
And you would put it in the beer. You said?
Yes, you put it in the beer. He said, it was one of the most sour limes, but they're orange limes in Hawaii. Yeah. They're unbelievable.
Dang, that sounds amazing.
So they don't have those here. But I'm telling you, you get an orange lime. Yeah. Like my wife and we went because I was like, oh, like at first it just like knocks you out. It's so sour. But then he tried it and we had a beer, and I'm like, oh. Way better. That's like way better than any lime I'd ever had in a beer. It was awesome.
Dang, yeah. Local breweries try to source some of those.
They should try to get them, man. They're unreal.
That sounds amazing. So yeah, shifting gears now. Beer number 4. We're leaving the farmhouse style behind, and now we're into
Polo.
Yeah, so a Polish style, a Piwo Grodziskie is sort of the style of beer. And this
for all of our Polish listeners.
Yeah.
Nice.
The beer is called Champagne, which is Polish for champagne.
Okay.
They call it that because it's just super effervescent, very bubbly.
Right.
But yeah, Piwo Grodziskie, it's a historical style from Poland. You can see it dates back to the 14th century. There's even some sort of artifacts that indicate more 6th or 7th century. You'll notice right off of the nose, it's got a very smoky, a smoky character too, which I love. Which I always seem to be bringing a smoked beer.
The smokes.
Even for the light beers, I was found a smoked one for us to try out. So that's it's very indicative of what that style is.
The flavor really lingers in your mouth after, I find. Like it sticks with you there.
It really does.
Yes.
That's like that smokiness specifically. Yeah. I love that one.
Yeah, if you're a smoke, some people like smoked meat, and there's just a different flavor to it. We've had a few different smoked beers. Still, that one that I got at home, the red can, and it's a red ale smoked one. I'm like, that is still probably my favorite one.
Nice. Yeah,
but that's really this
good.
One's pretty good.
This one would be like great with barbecue or just food pairings for any of these beers would be fantastic. And actually funny with this one. So we just have it at our Otwell location right now. I looked at what our stock was at our OG location earlier in the week. I'm like, well, we have tons, we'll be good. And then just everyone at the store loves this one so much. We've just been like plugging it and selling it. So we're sold out at OG right now, but we have some at the Otwell location and we'll get some transferred over for tomorrow. But it's a unique one. It's really, really cool. And again, it just goes to show 3.5%. It's not just a simple, fizzy yellow drink. It's like got way more
flavor to it.
Yeah. So that was the midway point. Now we're going into the IPAs now.
Oh, hazy IPA.
Yeah. Irrational Brewing Company. Probably, man, they are, if you haven't stopped by Irrational yet, they're a local Edmonton brewer on 124th Street. One of my favorite, up and coming Edmonton brewers for sure. So this one's called Opacity 32.
Yeah.
And they do these experimental editions. Opacity it explores the hazy IPA style. So they've done 32 now different experiments. They use different hop varieties, different hop combinations, but this is their first light beer. So it's a 3.5% IPA. That
one tastes very
hazy.
Traditional beer.
Yeah, very much.
Just tastes like a very normal beer.
And it's so difficult to get those flavors in a light beer.
Yes.
They really have to change again the type of grains that they use, the temperature that they ferment stuff at. Like there's a lot of work and a lot of different techniques that go into keeping that flavor at low alcohol percentage. And this one's double dry hopped. They have 5 different types of hops in there. There's tons going on. So if you're an IPA fan, but you don't like the big 8% ones, like this is a perfect go-to if you just want something on the patio or out on the deck and want to have a couple that's not too heavy. This one is perfect.
Awesome. Okay. Which leads us to our last one, which is 4 Winds, the Ultralight 2.9 from Delta BC.
Delta BC, 4 Winds. They are a legendary Canadian brewer. They're just so great. They've been doing their thing for quite a few years now, getting this one has won so many Canada Beer Cup and Canadian Brewing Awards, and it's always my go-to in the summer. If you look at what's in my fridge, I always have some ultralight in there. It's just, we started with a 2.9% one and we're going to finish here with a 2.9% one. And again, this is an IPA style. You can see it's kind of hazy as well, a little lighter in color, but it's just got that, like all that hop complexity that you would look for in an IPA. It's got a little bit tropical, a little bit like resinous, a little like pine trees, but also pineapple and mango. Just like a really, really amazing aromatic IPA, and just very surprising that it's 2.9%. I think that's wild. So one of my personal favorites for those. And it's just, we get very commonly now, people are asking, because the non-alcohol movement is going strong, which is awesome. And we have tons to choose from, but there's kind of that little midway point between, regular strength 5% plus beer and the non-alcohol stuff. And this sort of lineup is just indicative of what craft brewers are doing now and what they're trying to offer for that light beer. So if you don't want something that's non-alc, but something that's not too strong, this is just like the perfect little midway point.
Yeah, you're trying to keep it high and tight in the summer, but you're like, you know what, I want a beer, just still want to have a little bit of one every now and then.
Yeah, you want something interesting and just not something that's not bland and sort of cookie cutter, which all that stuff has its place, but I like the interesting stuff. I like to have a little.
I really like the Shays Light Lime with the
Shays
black
Light Lime is amazing.
That would be my favorite.
Yeah, very, very good. That's probably my fave too. Again, that the regular Shays Lounge is probably like one of my all-time
favorite beers.
Yeah. I remember I got the opportunity to judge at the Alberta Beer Awards a few years ago, and so we got to blind taste a whole bunch of different beers. I didn't know what I was tasting, but I gave a score to everything, and that one ended up getting my highest score of the whole weekend. And it's just fantastic. So yeah, check out the Shays Lounge. If you like it, check out this unique one with the black limes added, and you will not be disappointed.
Awesome. Thanks as always, Stevie, buddy. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see if the Elks kick it off early tonight with a win.
Yeah, let's see them do it.
All right. Great. There you go. That's Steve Azan from Sherbrooke Liquor. Let's get to Declan Kruger and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. You're looking for cars, trucks, SUVs? Well, GoAuto.ca is the place for you. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. They got over 73 different locations. Find one near you. GoAuto.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
France and Morocco tied 0-0 at halftime in the Lone FIFA World Cup match of the day in Wimbledon. The women's semis was Karolina Muchova over Coco Gauff in 3 sets, and Linda Noskova over Marta Kostuk in straights. In the MLB finals from earlier, saw the Guardians over the Twins 5-2, Red Sox over the White Sox 2-1, Orioles beating the Cubs 3-2, and the Yankees obliterating the Rays 12-4. Next game on the dock in the MLB will be the A's and Tigers at 4:40, as well as the Mariners and the Marlins. CFL Week 6 gets going tonight with Ottawa and Edmonton down at Commonwealth at 7 o'clock. And in the sporting world, Haley Wickenheiser has announced her departure from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Toronto Raptors and LA Clippers are pausing their Kawhi Leonard trade while the NBA does an investigation into his time with the Clippers. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Do you have neck or back pain? Ever go for treatment hoping for a simple fix only to realize your stubborn spine is basically a science project with attitude? Hey, we get it. And honestly, we're a little sorry because great rehab does take proper experimenting. But at Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we don't just toss exercises into the beaker and hope it doesn't explode. We start with the right diagnosis, then mix hands-on care, precise manual therapy, and evidence-based technology. The formula your body actually needs. Science and skill with gratitude, not attitude. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Redblacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Emerald Equipment. Emerald Equipment is Edmonton's newest dealer for Yanmar compact equipment. Machines built tough for the jobs that don't quit. Get your new Yanmar compact track loaders with ASV Posey Track at Emerald Equipment.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 3 o'clock on a game day, Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can stop in and try anything. Casino, live dealer, lottery, instant sports, all in one stop. And while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials at PlayAlberta.ca. Of course, we have no score yet between France and Morocco as they are getting set to start the second half. Mbappe had a penalty kick, but was stopped by the one they call Bono, the netminder for Morocco. So that keeps it 0-0. Coming up tomorrow, we'll have more action in World Cup as Spain and Belgium will go at it at 1 o'clock. And then on Saturday at 3 o'clock, it's Norway and England. And at 7 o'clock, it will be Argentina and Switzerland. Who's going to get in? We shall see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Well, Connor's on holiday, so this one almost slipped through our hands, but we got a 4-pack sweet seats, man. Like, these are great seats for tonight's tilt, the Elks and the Redblacks. So if you want to go, take the kids, take the family, I got a 4-pack of tickets to go tonight. Text in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Include your name and your email. So if we pick you, we can send you the tickets. So there you go. Elks, Redblacks tonight as Edmonton looks to go 4-1. And the good news, right now, very slim chance of precipitation. So that is a win for a team and a fan base that the last time they were at home, it was rain-o-rama. Now we're going to go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years. They've emerged and grown and become one of the most diversified electrical contractors in the province with 4 divisions in project service, testing, and solar. Learn more at actionelectrical.net as Terry Ryan joins us. TR, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just got back yesterday from Yellowknife. Spent a couple of days in each up in the territories. It was an awesome time.
Now, I want to get your thoughts, TR. I don't know if you've seen, and I know it's happened before. I think the Red Wings, Illich had many of his kids. Now, some of them worked for the team, some didn't, but to me, this is somewhat of a joke. Tom Dundon puts his wife and 5 kids on the Stanley Cup. Like some of his, and it's not his kids' fault, but like some of his kids are 5 and 7, for goodness sakes. Like they have nothing to do with the team. Just because you're the owner, it doesn't matter. And Bobby Gorman, the longtime trainer, been there the whole time. He doesn't get his name on it now because of this, right? Because there's a limit of how many names you can put on. Like, it's wild to me. Absolutely wild. This is it. The NHL's got to step up and say, okay, we're done with this garbage. Just because you're the owner doesn't mean your whole family, who has nothing to do with it. Like, kids, what are we doing? To me, it's just like you're ruining one of the greatest trophies in the world by putting kids who are 5 and 7 and under on the trophy.
It's rich, smug entitlements. It's absolute bullcrap. And the fact, yes, first of all, the trainer, I forget his name, I don't want to be ignorant. He should be on there anyway. And the fact that it was even entertained, I don't even think the wife should be on there. Like, I didn't realize this till today. It's just ironic that you're saying this because I just picked up the news story like 5 minutes ago. I'm bewildered. I wouldn't even think of it. I would think if I was in the exact same position, which I won't be, but if I was, I pretty much 100% tell you that it wouldn't even cross my mind to put my wife on there unless I'm sure he tied some relatives into the team so we could get by, but kids, and this is absolute nonsense. Not only should it never happen again, take it in, cross those names out, and make it clear, and call it, forget the name, call it the whatever rule, and just always shed a light on that ignorant, entitled man for doing that. The trophy is it's a beautiful looking trophy. It's famous. It's hard. It's really, really hard. 7 game, 4 rounds, absolute. And I'm not saying that only players, obviously trainers, anybody that actually has something to do with the team, but there's only so much room on such a prestigious trophy, and you're going to put a 5 and a 7-year-old on it, you should be banned. Honestly, other owners should get together and say, hey, take a hike. Whatever we got to do, buy you. I am absolutely disgusted that the NHL even allowed it. And it doesn't affect me at all. Why am I so upset? I don't know. I guess because, I mean, I'm a player. I didn't play in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I saw them, but I know how hard it is in midget hockey, let alone pro, and let alone the Stanley Cup and the Stanley Cup playoffs. And you're going to put some kid that doesn't know the backyardigans from Pikachu, you're going to put him on the Stanley Cup, or her, whoever it is. Absolute embarrassment.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. The NHL has a precedent. Back in 1984, Peter Pocklington, because anybody who knows Peter, he wasn't adverse to maybe fudging some things and not always going down the legal path. He put his father's name, Basil Pocklington, on the trophy. And you know, when the NHL found out that he had nothing to do with the team, he had no affiliation with the team, you know what they did, TR? They went and put X's over his name. And you can see it on the cup. They're like, no. You can't take it off, but we're Xing it out. And so so to me, that just shows where our society is now, where it's like, oh, if I'm rich, I can do what I want. And all the other rich guys are like, yeah, this is a really good idea. Like, it's an embarrassment. And at some point, you need more people to stand up for what's right and just say, enough's enough. I know Hurricanes fans, like, you don't want to punish the player, but at some point you got to make a tough decision. But this is the NHL's got to have some guts. The NHLPA, Trainer Association, and the players specifically should be like, hey guys, like, this is not good, because the trainers help those guys probably more, TR, than they ever get credit for all the above and beyond the trainers and medical staff and behind the scenes guys and gals do for these players.
And not only that, you see the grit and the bump and grind on the ice. One of my best friends in the world is a trainer. He was for the Leafs for a couple of years. Now he's in Wilkes-Barre. His name is Dave Roper, Rope Dog from Mount Pearl. And I know how hard he works. And I've been there in Toronto when he's up all night long, or driving equipment. It's not just in the room, equipment out to the airport, grabbing in the visitor stuff coming in. There's a team of equipment managers, and they all should be on there, as well as the trainer. They have way more to do with it than some 5-year-old who's learning the alphabet. Like I said, the players, you take punches, you block shots. There's obvious broken bones, stitches, all of the above. But the hours that each and every equipment manager puts in are grueling. and they're way more than a regular job. I know some, obviously there's big spectrum, but as far as those equipment managers, man, they work harder than most people in the organization. And that goes right down to, again, midget hockey, let alone the National Hockey League with injuries and equipment requests. And you got to be on, man. You got to be on all the time. And if I found out I was a player and one of them didn't get their name on there, I would be absolutely floored. I would be pissed off. And now what I think should happen at the very least, the name should be X'd out for sure, obviously. But I'd like a one-on-one, like explain to us where you were coming from there. Because there's no way you can explain to me putting a 5 and a 7-year-old on there, however old they are, kids, without having to explain your smug entitlement. Why did you think that you should be on there? Even NHL players who play less than 40 games, there could be a guy injured that plays one game in the first round, whatever it is. He still deserves it way more than a 5-year-old. I don't understand. I would love to hear his explanation to the fans, the players, and everybody else in the sporting world that's worked hard for a trophy and sit there and eat your cheesies and not even know what it is and get your name on the cup. An absolute embarrassment.
Yeah, I totally agree. Also today, the Ducks, I don't think it's a big surprise, but they match the offer sheet to Leo Carlsson, who tomorrow is going to get a one-day check of $19.95 million as bonus. Then he'll have a base salary of like $850 this year. And then he gets another bonus of $18.1 million next July 1st. Good for him, buddy. That is a lot of money that he is going to get in less than a calendar year. What did you make of the offer sheet by the Flyers? Was it desperation? What do you make of it?
I don't know. It's desperate. I was really, really surprised. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some hockey minds saw it coming. I haven't been paying attention much lately to the outcome of that. I mean, when it happened, obviously, I'm seeing the headlines. But yeah, I was floored. The more I think about it, it still doesn't make sense to me that Philly did it. It doesn't. I understand why Anaheim matched it. I mean, he's a great player. You're losing a lot. Forced their hand. Certainly, Philly were more than a thorn in their side. I mean, I would never pay Leo Carlsson that. I'm not. Wouldn't have been me. But once it was done, for obvious reasons, I don't need to get into them. You got a player on your team there that gets more than double his points. He makes $6-7 million more. What are you going to do if you're Carlsson? He's probably expecting 12. You're going to go, what? Now I get like literally $30 million more dollars than I thought. Are you kidding me? Right? I mean, it just kind of came out of nowhere. But I don't know. What do I take from it all? I understand all of it. I understand why Philly did it. You can get layers to it. To piss them off, I suppose. And you know, he is a great player. They did the math and said, you know what? This works for us. And if nothing else, we'll have to force their hand. But I don't get from Anaheim's point of view. I'd have to look into it more. Like Pat Verbeek, is it? Well, I mean, you know, offer sheets are a thing. I know they're not hugely popular. They're becoming more popular. And in this kind of outlier, kind of a year or two where things are starting to go topsy-turvy, I don't know that I would have let a guy like that go that long without signing him. To me, that's the first thing I said. I'm like, you've got to be aware if this is going to happen. And I mean, I guess, what would you do? If this was a video game even, I would have offered him a contract. So I see it as a stumble by the Anaheim Ducks. But, you know, there's probably more layers to it.
Yeah, well, Pat Verbeek said today that he did have discussions earlier, but yeah, okay, well, you had discussions. That doesn't mean anything. Like, hey, man, I'll offer you $6 million. Like, it's a discussion, but it's not a realistic discussion, right? So when you say, oh, we had discussions, that could mean anything. Yeah, well, we had a discussion. None of them was, you know, I never offered anything serious. So yes, we had the discussion, but that it kind of stops there. So, well, I'll be curious to see kind of what they do now. You know, they've got just over $9 million. You got to sign Cutter Gauthier. Now, I know everybody's like, oh, he's going to get similar money. Well, no, he isn't. Like, Carlsson is so grossly overpaid. It doesn't mean now I have to grossly overpay my other guy, right? Like,
exactly.
The Ducks didn't want to do this. They're forced into it. Now, Cutter Gauthier and his camp might say, yeah, but we'll get this offer sheet next year. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure that you will? Like, is there like, you're not a center iceman. Right. And Philly sure as hell isn't offer sheeting you next year. So who is the team that's going to do it? right? Like that's the thing. Chicago just signed Bedard. San Jose is going to sign Celebrini. So who's the team that's going to offer you? So you can say it all you want, but I don't see the connection that, because Carlson got this and now suddenly Cutter Gauthier's got to get grossly overpaid too. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, part of the equation is Carlson was in the unbelievable perfect storm of circumstances. And if everybody, and the other thing is, be careful here what you wish for, and the grass isn't always whatever the saying is, because now if you start comparing to that and being disappointed at a little bit more than that, that's completely reasonable. And before that happened, you would have been thrilled with, it's anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. It happened to me. Like, it can happen. You can fall off your bike. You can get hurt. Look at Connor Bedard. I know he's protected and everything, but I'm just saying, who knows? Hopefully it gets better. I don't know. That's his second or third shoulder injury in a couple of years. The NHL is a pretty rough league. I'm just saying. So if I'm other players, I also don't want my eyes to get big as beach balls either, thinking that I'm going to get, even if I'm in that realm. There's nobody Carlson's age and with that kind of production that should expect $18 million tomorrow. It was circumstantial and fortunate for him, not unfortunate for everybody else. They're going to sign for you. It's just the circumstance. Of course, we're going to see inflated contracts, but I still think this is a bit of an outlier. There'll be someone like that to set the precedent every couple of years with these offer sheet business, but not on the regular. Are guys like that going to get that kind of money?
TR, do you think the Oilers should wait? They got a lot of cap space. Should they try to get a deal for a Mantha on a bargain contract, or maybe trade someone? Or would they better off to say, let's give Ike Howard half a season, see what happens, and then we can go, shooter shopping closer to the deadline?
I would, I would definitely give him half a season. I mean, he's had numbers everywhere else. They got him for a reason. He's known to put the puck in the net, and not everybody eases into the NHL at the same pace. I mean, it's an asset that you own, and he's starting to get familiar, right, with his teammates, and I just can only see his progress going up. How fast it escalates is anybody's guess. But if I'm the Oilers, you're just asking me what I could understand if they went shopping, but I would definitely give him a chance for a while first.
Yeah, for sure. TR, good to catch up with you, buddy. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll chat next week.
Thank you, Declan. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Edmonton. Talk soon.
There you go. That is Terry Ryan, of course, former NHLer, started a hitch on Shoresy. Take a quick break. When we return, we got we're going to hear from talk a little Anaheim Ducks. Also, we'll hear from some Elks and more as we get set for the Elks Redblacks tonight. And look at the weather outside, boys and girls. It's looking good on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wines, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Pro sports, local sports, minor leagues, you got it all. It's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Was glowing.
328. Welcome back. I would admit that song is still kind of catchy. You know what? I know it's not one of those you're like, but you know what? It was catchy at the time it came out. You're like, okay, by myself, tapping along to it. It's just how it goes. Some of those songs, even if you don't love it, you're just like, well, it sucks me in. And that song sucks you in a little bit. So there you go. Ask and you shall receive. Mbappe, 20 goals in 20 World Cup games. Oh, you kidding me? France is up 1-0. Like, they're going to be hard to beat when you got a guy who's basically, you go into every game knowing you got a goal almost, right? He's played 20 World Cup games and he's got 20 goals. That is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, when you look at the list of the top World Cup players, right? And when you go to games played and everything like that, like Messi's got 21 goals in 31 matches. Mbappe's 20 and 20. Miroslav Klose was 16 and 20. Ronaldo, 15 and 19. Mueller had 14 and 13. Now that's really good. Harry Kane has 14 and 16 games. Now, Just Fontaine, this guy was a legend way back in 1958. Played in one World Cup. He had 13 goals in 6 games. Are you kidding me, man? That was unreal. Pele had 12 and 14. The other guy was Sandor Kocsis out of Hungary when he had 11 in 5 games in 1954. So different time, obviously, but still. Like, look at Ronaldo. He's got 11 and 27. Messi's got 21 and 31. If we're talking guys who are like in this era. And then you're throwing Mbappe 20 and 20. Just unreal. And now France, it's over, baby. It's over. France goes up 2-0. They are not going to relinquish a lead of 2 goals, I don't think. They're just too good right now. So Morocco, it was a great run. You're out. You are out. It is the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where get your tickets for the Daily Grand every Thursday. $1,000 a day for the next 20 years of your life. Just imagine that. $7.3 million. You would really have to work to want to just blow $1,000 every day. You could do it, of course. You could do it. But, man, you could live very comfortably with that. Nothing wrong with it. Every year, I got $365K coming in. I think that's $365. You're not even paying taxes on it. You only pay tax on your interest. So, for lotteries in Canada. I love it. So get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Now, let's get to the Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Go Auto. Looking for cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it. They got it all. With over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. You can shop till you drop at GoAuto.ca. And Aaron Grimes, in his second season as secondary coach of the Green and Gold, we had a pretty good chat at practice yesterday. Just talked about kind of his evolution as a coach and many other things. Here's that conversation.
Last year, a lot of young guys, a little bit off the ball, were able to play way more aggressive this year. As a coach, how much more enjoyable has it been being able to implement more early in a season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I can put a word or a measurable on the enjoyment. Just watching these guys grow, watching them, learn how to play, not just in our system, but with each other, and understanding, why we're calling what we're calling. What are we expecting to see from this offense this week, and then watching those guys take that and run with it and be able to add to it as well. It's been super fun, and we still have a lot of room to grow. So that's even the best part.
You are always a very cerebral player. I'm sure as a coach you learn about yourself. What have you learned in kind of year 2 that's different in how you approach or communicate with the players?
I think communication is the biggest thing, just really opening the floor for those guys, because it doesn't matter how I see something, to an extent, or it doesn't matter, how I feel about it. If I can't, get that message across or that vision across to the guys, then what am I doing? So opening the floor, asking them, do they understand it, or even asking them how they see it, right? Because if they don't, if I can't, get them to see it the way that we see it as a staff, then, we're not getting accomplished, what we're looking for.
How much of that is a learning process for you and how to communicate with players?
It's a massive learning process. I pride myself on the ability to communicate, but when you go from a player, you just need to be able to talk to the person next to you for the most part, right? Or the person in front of you. And then as a coach, I need to get that message, one, from Jay, understand what Jay's looking for, and then get that message to 13 people in the room, because injuries happen, right? So if somebody goes down, the next person has to understand it the same way. And so just really being able to get it across to more people as a coach has been the biggest challenge.
You've been fairly lucky in the sense that there has been continuity, and you played for a long time. Continuity, when the halfback in the corner, the halfback in the safety, maybe you don't think as much on the field because you know where that other guy's going to be.
Absolutely, and that's where these guys are getting, right? Last year was a lot of emphasis on we have to be elite communicators. I need to know where you're going to be, and the person next to you also needs to know that. Now you can see these guys, they just kind of hand signal every now and then because they already understand. Okay, JJ's going to play this route concept this certain way. So now KJ knows where he can be aggressive and where he needs to be passive. And it's a thing of beauty to see.
This is a team that you've seen already once. Advantageous at all? I know Cody Fajardo mentioned that, their defense in week 1 did a lot of things they didn't expect. Mm-hmm. What do you expect, and haven't seen the film, that's maybe going to be different from week 1 in Ottawa offensively compared to tomorrow night?
Well, I think that, we're looking at a team that is desperate for a win, right? And they're going to come in here and they're going to try to get their first win on our home turf. So I would expect to see these guys taking some shots, with where they're at in their season and trying to get back on track. So just making sure we're doing a good job, again, of communicating like these guys have been, and then trying to take away, their go-to plays.
Lots of fumble recoveries, lots of big hits physically. I know secondary guys pride themselves on being ball hawks and getting some picks. How important is it to start getting a few of those?
Well, I'm tired of leading the league in pass breakups. It's time for us to finish the play with the ball in our hands. And those guys understand that. And, we kind of talked this week about not overstressing it, right? Because we've had some hitters in the hands that have hit the ground. And I've been there in my career. I've had a couple of bad ones too. And I think sometimes we start to press a little bit too much with it. Just make the layups, make the plays that come your way. Every now and then you got to go be a superstar, make a superstar play. But for the most part, relax and just make the plays that come your way, because, we make mistakes as a defense, but everybody does. So when the offense makes a mistake, we got to make them pay for it.
A little easier in the room when the team's winning to kind of poke fun at one another about the drops?
Absolutely. And we do that anyways, right? Accountability is our number one thing. It's one of our pillars, and they hold me accountable as well. And I expect that from them, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So when they do drop a pass, they know about it, and there's a fun little fine system to pay into for the drops. But there's also a nice little pot waiting for the first person to get one.
Now, you mentioned you talk with JC about kind of what he's looking for. Just that communication maybe between the two of you. I know you two are very close and obviously have a lot of respect for one another, but kind of in the game and adjustments, are you more, how much more comfortable are you in adjusting on the fly maybe compared to last year?
I would say night and day, complete 180. Last year was more so, okay, waiting on Jay, to kind of see what he wants to do. And this year it's a lot more, we speak to each other a lot more throughout the week, and then just over the headsets, looking at the iPads, okay, here's where they're trying to attack us. Or maybe even, hey, we got off the field there, but they did have this open, they just didn't see it. So let's make sure we're on that, on the next one. And then understanding what he's saying, a little bit quicker, and then getting that to the guys faster.
Interesting conversation with the secondary coach for the Green and Gold, Aaron Grimes, and you can just hear obviously a lot more confident, a lot more poised in their play calling. Has more of a voice now in the game, and hey, it helps when your players have more experience. You can call more things. not that you do less coaching. I think you can do less of the basic stuff and maybe go a little bit in depth. And their secondary, if there was the only blemish on them is their inability to hold on to the ball through 4 games, because they've been in great position to make some interceptions. They haven't come down with the ball yet. When they do that, the defense is going to go from very good potentially to great. So we'll see where it goes. We will return. It's Thursday edition of the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We are going to talk about that monster new contract with Leo Carlson coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to have a spec dropping in. We're also going to hear about from Joel DeBlanco. The Elks for the second straight game are going to have 2 starting Canadian linebackers in Jabome and Joel Donaldson. And when you look at the opportunity, I say Donaldson, DeBlanco, obviously, but to have the opportunity to have 2 starting Canadian linebackers and not just like legit starters, right? I'm telling you, man, you watch Jabome, you see the potential in his game. He's big, he's long, he's quick. And to wait till the game slows down for him. Just look at DeBlanco. If you remember DeBlanco's first few games, at times you're a little bit of a deer in a headlight. It's professional sports. It's hard. But he's gotten better and better. And when you can impact the game from the will linebacker position, that's a skill in its own. So we'll get to all that. And when we return, we will break things down as lots of changes in some instances. But again, some things always stay the same, but the hottest rumor continues to burn. We'll get to that next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at ProSolutionsInc.ca.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos.
For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to RobertsonBodyWorks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Alberta, we're wild and tough and beautiful. We agree that good enough isn't good enough. And though everything that matters starts with a home and a family. At Lux, our family has been handcrafting windows and doors for this incredible place for over half a century. There's no place we'd rather be. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by eWell. Helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ewell.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ewell.ca, your partner in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.342, welcome back. Thursday afternoon, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Have a little chat with Donnie P. You can talk anything you like. Ask him about why IPAs are his favorite beers. Ask him to list off his 5 faves. Be a very short list, tell you that. So you never know. Just ask questions. He'll answer anything. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. That is where you can text us here at Sports 1440s. It's time now to get to the race report, brought to you by Can Torque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantorque.com. As Colin Livingston joins us in studio once again. CL, how you doing?
Man, it's nice to actually be face-to-face and not having like my hotel phone ringing in the background and having the hotel manager walking in the last part of our hit. And
you're looking like that European. I thought you were just going to have the lady to come in and pull the guy out.
They were so awesome. We were in somewhere in Nova Scotia, and
Antigonish.
Well, yeah, the racetrack's at Antigonish, but we were staying in another place that escapes me. But there was an issue. Oh, the issue is we got to the hotel. Mandy's bag didn't show up. So she wanted to go shopping. And I left my phone and my wallet was in the car. So I couldn't fully check in to the hotel. I didn't have a credit card. So the manager at the Holiday Inn was awesome. She's like, okay, I know you're part of this group. It's no big deal. And he said, okay, I don't know when she's going to be back. Give me a couple hours. She's like, yeah, no problem. Just come down as soon as you can. And then it was like 45 minutes later and she's calling in the room. And then she's like walking in, just like, hey, where'd you guys go? Like, what's going on? Like, so I went down. I'm like, hey, listen, we were doing a little radio thing there. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like ignore you, but they were so great.
She came in ready to drop the hammer, thinking you were just, cooking up drugs in the hotel room, evidently.
Yeah.
Well, you look like a shady character, so I can see why she'd be questioned.
All I needed was a hug.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Let's start out with hey, speaking of a hug, I don't know, maybe Max Verstappen, can they hug it out with Red Bull? Or is this, right now I don't want to have anything to do with them, is what he said after the race. Now he's pretty emotional at times anyway, but man, they're struggling on the track. They had another mechanical issue that seemed to cause them probably a podium finish. And now there's they're not communicating. They're not really even listening to him, although Max sometimes seems to whine more than talk. So I don't know, but is this the beginning of the end with him?
I'm going to go half a step back and say I've never really been a Max fan. I've appreciated him as one of the greatest drivers that has ever set foot.
Yeah.
But a lot of on track, he's a bit of a loose cannon. He's super aggressive, but he's one of the best tools. When you've got a driver like Max Verstappen who has such feel for a car, you damn well listen to him. He's number one paid guy in Formula One. He's getting paid more than Lewis right now.
Yeah.
And for you to take his suggestions and just say, we're going to go our own way here. We've run it in the simulator. We know what we're doing. And, and then to have the results that they did, he basically said, look, I told them we need to go one way. They chose to go the other way. The car was not great. I don't know how we were up in third place, but the issue that they had was their rear wing didn't close.
Yes, it wasn't closing.
When he wanted, like, the way that the wing's supposed to work is if you lift off the throttle, you hit the brakes, or you activate the button, it closes, and it's got to close like within milliseconds. He goes into the corner, things open, doesn't have the downforce, balances off, boom, into the gravel, race over. Lucky he didn't get hurt. Lucky they didn't destroy the car. So, of course, and I can speak to this very, very candidly because I'm guilty of it as anyone, when you have those moments, your adrenaline is spiked, but your brain is always in fight or flight. And when you've got that adrenaline and you've just had something happen that was unexpected, you are amped beyond what you can actually comprehend. Like, picture getting cut off in traffic, where you've got your family in the car. I shouldn't say what other people's reactions are, but generally you tend to get very puffy and like, hey, listen,
there's a reason why they call it road rage.
You bad person. I disagree with your actions.
Yeah, that's how you would say it.
So to stick a camera and a mic in the guy's face when he's coming out of the car, I'm like, so how do you feel about Red Bull right now is probably a little bit less than ideal, but this has been building and building and building for a long time. They've lost a great number of their people, like Helmut Marko, who protected him from a lot of the inner politics. Christian Horner's gone. A lot of the senior management, a lot of the people who were guiding the operation, and now he's frustrated. So I believed at the beginning of the year it was like a slam dunk that he was gone. But right now, it seems like about his only landing spot would be McLaren. I mean, if I'm running a team,
but they'd have to get a Piastri because, right?
They're not going to give up Lando. So Piastri would definitely be disposable. George could be disposable at Mercedes. Pretty much anyone could get bought out. Like, we're talking about Max Verstappen and getting a chance to bring him in. The flip side is teams also know that when you bring in Max, you are giving everything up to get that guy there. You've got to deal with Yoss's father. You've got to deal with the manager.
Well, maybe not. See, maybe they should say, you know what? No, we won't. We don't do the power. And if all of a sudden he looks and says, "Man, I don't have any options. Maybe I'm going to have to change."
I think for Max, he doesn't need to do this anymore. He's proved what he needed to prove. He's done what he needed to do. This car is likely not going to get better for at least 3 more years. So is he going to want to continue to run? Like, yeah, it's great that you're making the money, but he can make that money now based on his name with endorsements and with, secondary income. He doesn't need to be this frustrated in a Formula One car,
but there's the love of racing that you can't, standing up and shaking hands at a sponsor event isn't giving you the thrill of racing.
No, it isn't. But now he's raising kids and they've got their own kid, and, to have a bank full of money, to never have to worry about it. And he can still do the endurance racing. He can, he can do whatever he wants. And he really seems to like the sports car racing that he's done. So, it's going to be interesting. The thing that we've also seen about McLaren over the last few years is if they've got the chance to back up a dump truck full of money and hire somebody, Zach will hire someone just so somebody else can't get him. Like, they made a great move in IndyCar, getting Scott Dixon, getting Rosenquist, kind of questionable, letting Lundgaard go. But, he's not afraid to make the big signing. So it's, if nothing else, it's going to be interesting.
Kimi Antonelli looked like he was in great position. Fresher tires, was running down Leclerc. Then he had a mechanical failure, forced him to drive off the track. Then he doesn't finish. Now, Russell did manage a second because he didn't pit, and kind of a tactical error by Hamilton. And although it was a tactical or was it unlucky, thinking that they would get another lap?
It was unlucky. I mean, They did the exact same thing in Abu Dhabi. They left him out, like when Lewis was with Mercedes. They left him out thinking that he was going to restart in the lead. Max was going to pit. He was going to get tires. Then they decided to reshuffle the whole field. It worked against him. This time they came into pit. It worked against him again. The way that the whole thing was handled, for the record, they did everything by the rules, but there were only a handful of laps left. They need to address this because it's absolutely ridiculous that they've got 3 or 4 laps where they could be running. Max's car, They managed to salvage it. They could have done this under a virtual safety car, but then the series decides that they're going to let all the lap down cars unlap themselves, which automatically takes 2 laps. You've got to give them 1 lap to let them get around. You can't throw the flag until you get 1 more lap in. And by that time, they were already on the last lap. It's like,
Unlucky.
so where it could have been this great showdown between Lewis and George and, Charles, with Lando kind of sitting back in 4th place. It was going to be amazing. And we got a caution flag.
Well, yeah, I thought that rule and how they do it was just, they could have deployed the red flag. They could have shoved the lap cars down to the back of the pack and just let the racing resume. Like, you should never have a race finish that way, in my opinion.
It's so strange that F1 is going to prioritize the cars that aren't a factor.
Yes.
Like, okay, well, we've got to deal with all these guys who are at least a lap down, and then you don't get any more racing. Like, even in NASCAR, we do almost everything wrong. And even we've got it figured out. The way the lineup is: lead lap cars that didn't pit, lead lap cars that pitted, lap down cars that didn't pit, lap down cars that pitted. And if you're more than a lap down, you go to the back. That's it.
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
It's and even NASCAR, while I hate the idea that we have to have these green-white checkers, at least we get a couple of laps at the end, no matter what. I don't think F1 needs to go that way, but they need to really, really look at, how these things are playing out. Again, they followed the letter of the law, but it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. Colin Livingston joins us. Speaking of IndyCar, and hey, they got Scotty Dixon. It seemed like it lit a fire under everybody, because suddenly McLaren, now they got back-to-back wins, and they're just like, hey, wait a sec, we don't want the change.
And now, Lundgaard's gone. So, he won 2 weeks ago at Road America. Pato gets the win now.
Well, Siegel is going to be out too, right?
Siegel. Oh yeah. Siegel's not a surprise. Like, Kanon told him apparently at the beginning of the year, look, if you're going to stay with us, you need to be in the top 10. He's, I think, currently 22nd in points. So he's kind of nowhere to be found. Pretty solid lineup going into 27 with Award. You can never do better than Scotty D, and now they've got Ericsson. So Rosenquist.
Yeah. Okay. For NASCAR Canada, because of course it's a few weeks away from coming here.
Yep.
But you guys had rain delays again. How did it finish off?
Last weekend was interesting. I am going to be very candid. I'm obviously very biased to my boy Alex. I think he's a hell of a race car driver. We had 2 races at Montmagny last weekend. Race 1, we lost our radios. And we've talked a number of times about what a spotter does. Even when Alex was on with us 2 weeks ago when we were in Riverside, he talked about how important it is. He couldn't be out on the track if he didn't. And it's not about me, but you just can't be out there unless you've got a spotter telling you where the other cars are. We didn't have a spotter. I was up there and I was making radio communications. He couldn't hear me. He drove blind. So here's a guy, the people on YouTube and on the visual versions of this platform, he's looking through this. He can kind of see his mirror, but you can't turn to see if somebody's on your outside. You rarely know if somebody's in your back corner. He drove 125 laps.
Why? What happened? You had a technical issue?
There was an issue with the wiring harness. So at best, he would get intermittent communication once in a while, but he drove the whole thing blind. Came back with all 4 fenders on the car. There was a little bit of a rub, which even wasn't his fault. I told him, stole a line from one of our favorite movies, The Martian. I just walked up to him. First of all, I walked up to him and said, buddy, I'm going home. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, you don't need me. You managed to do this all on your own. But I said, there was a couple of our team around. I said, Alex Tagliani, you are a steely-eyed missile man. It was one of the crazy, and because he pulled in so we could kind of work on the radio before we took the green flag, they started the race, they didn't start without us, but we had to drop to the back of the pack. So we had qualified, I think we qualified 6th or 7th, but we ended up starting 22nd, and he drove up to 7th with no help.
That's
so I'm
pretty
like,
good.
oh, this is going to be great. But then we had some issues with the car. The handling just wasn't great in the second race, and we finished 8th. But kind of interesting. There's a rule in NASCAR when we take the start, the leader has to get to the line first. Like, so if we're always running too wide, it's up to the leader to decide when we're going to start. There's a restart zone. If he goes and starts spinning the tires, you still can't get to the start finish line until the leader. If you get there before the leader, it's a penalty.
Right.
P2, Marc-Antoine Cameron jumped, realized he was going to get there first, slammed on the brakes, still got to the line first, bottlenecked two cars, Alex Labay and LP Dumoulin, destroyed their cars. Like, their cars were toast. No penalty. Cameron goes on. Here's your trophy for winning. NASCAR looks the other way. And they've got cameras and they've got the ability to review replays. We saw it on a little phone within 10 seconds. Like, okay, yeah, here's the jump. Yeah. Oh, he gets to the line first. Why wasn't that called? And in race control, our guy says it was too close to see. Like, okay.
All right. So not great. Now we're just over 2 weeks away coming here to Wetaskiwin.
Yep.
And I know we'll talk to Alex again about that offer that he made because he's still good.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll be getting. That's going to be an unreal opportunity for one of our listeners for the weekend.
I'll even if our radio cuts out with Alex, I'm still going to do my thing, and whoever wins our contest.
Well, it's never cut out in Wetaskiwin, so you should be fine.
It should be fine.
Yeah.
It's a harness, so it's the cable. Like, so the way it works for the drivers, they've got a radio like I've got a radio. It runs through a bunch of wires before it gets into a connector, before it gets into his helmet. So he's got two different pieces for his earbuds and for his microphone. The part in between is what we had an issue with. But the likelihood, I've never seen it in the whatever I've done now, 13 years of this. The likelihood we have another harness issue in 2 weeks is pretty unlikely. But yeah, we've got to determine what the criteria is to win this contest. But yeah, somebody's going to be able to come out to the race, listen to our radio. I'm going to program a scanner so they'll have our radio. They can switch to NASCAR if they want to hear what NASCAR has to say about things. And then we'll maybe bring them in here the week after so that they can give their review of what it was like.
No, I think it'd be great. Yep. And lastly, karting, what's going on? Guys, race last night?
We did. We were worried about thunderstorms. There were tornado watches in the area. We didn't get a drop, which was kind of nice. My night was, I had some challenges. I've been really good in the dry so far this year. I had won 3 classes, 3 class wins. I had an issue in the first heat where my throttle hung. Hung throttle is a very bad thing. So
sounds like it.
People can't, you go into a corner, you hit the brakes and your throttle says, no, you're still going. I drove off the track like twice in the first heat before I thought somebody was pushing me off. That's kind of what it feels like. You go to stop and you just keep going. I thought somebody was on my bumper and driving me off. I never figured out what the issue was, but I got it sorted. Second heat, drove up okay. And then in the final, I drove past the 2 guys in front of me. Took my 4th win. Still haven't done enough races to kind of be threatening for the championship yet, but if I can keep rolling and keep these gremlins to a minimum, the old fat guy is going to do okay.
Awesome. Well, we will chat with you next Thursday. Have yourself a great weekend.
Sounds good, man.
It's Colin Livingston in the Racing Report, brought to you by Can Torque. Let's get to Declan Kruger and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services that you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives.
The Sports 1440 update.
France has defeated Morocco in their match 2-0. The goals coming via Kylian Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele in the 60th and 66th minutes. The winner of that would play likely Spain. In the MLB today, finals familiar with the Braves over the Pirates 10-5, and the Mets over the Royals 7-3. The Yankees also beating up on the Rays 12-4, while the Red Sox and White Sox had a close 1-1. Next game will be in about 40 minutes. It'll be the A's and the Tigers, as well as the Mariners and the Marlins. In Wimbledon, it was Linda Noskova over Marta Kostuk and Karolina Mukova over Coco Gauff. News from around the sporting world. Haley Wickenheiser announcing her departure from the Maple Leafs, while Detroit Red Wings' Dylan Larkin will now accept a trade to the Dallas Stars, expanding his trade list to 4 teams. And of course, the Anaheim Ducks matching Leo Carlson's offer sheet from the Flyers to take on his record $18 million AAV cap hit. Macklin Celebrini has won the IIHF Male Player of the Year, and in the Raptors and Clippers trade, a pause put on for Kawhi Leonard while the NBA delves into investigation on the LA Clippers. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been the Sports 1440 Update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station.
CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray Music app and listen wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Redblacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Oodle Noodle Origins.
In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
The Riverhawks are back, and the fun is too. Catch Italian Plumber Video Game Night, Star Wars with a post-game fireworks show, and kids crash the park Sunday with a poster giveaway presented by Save On Foods. Bring the family. Kids tickets from $10 at GoHawks.ca.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Mama and Daddy put the roots right here.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out elksnation.ca, articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth W football coverage online, elksnation.ca.
Sports Radio is back. The Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Taking on the Redblacks tonight. Elks looking to go 4-1. Redblacks just trying to get their first win of the season, but something tells me the green and gold are focused, and I think this might be a big win for the green and gold tonight. We'll see, but that's my hunch that they're ready to roll. You know, like they beat Ottawa by 8. Then, of course, they had the close win, 3 points over Montreal, 5 over Winnipeg. So, you know, you average that out. What is that? Average of about 5.3 points in wins. So I think they would like an easier one. Because I do think they would like to see Powell in quarterback, just to see if you could get into a blow-up position. We'll find out. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Instance, lottery, live dealer, casino, sports, and more at PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials that you can get in on. Good luck at PlayAlberta.ca. Now, we have our roundtable. Fellas, you guys are ready to rock and roll with Donnie P and Declan. Donnie went first yesterday, so Deck, it's your opportunity to go first today.
All right, yeah, I got a pretty simple one in it. It's obviously related to Leo Carlsson offer sheet being matched by Anaheim, and this is kind of my thing, and I'm curious to see where you guys come out on it. Do I love paying him $18 million a season for the next 5 years? No, I do not. Do I love doing that when, you know, Cutter Gauthier needs to get money and we just give a guy who had 22 points in Michikov $7 million? Don't love that either. Do I love the fact that he's probably only going to get better, and then in 5 years at 26 years old, he's going to be a UFA coming off a $90 million contract? I still don't love that. But the point I'm trying to make is that I think the Anaheim Ducks are better off than the Philadelphia Flyers because they got the player. And quite bluntly, do I think either of these teams is going to win a Stanley Cup in the next 5 years? No, I do not. But do I want the player? Yeah, I do. Do I love a lot of the stuff that's surrounding it? And do I love how it's kind of affected the salary cap of my team and what Cutter Gauthier is going to have to take on a bridge deal after his ELC? And then what's his next contract going to look like? What's he going to try and use as a comparable? I don't love all of that, but I wanted the player, because I have an elite number one centerman, and that's why I'm resting my head on that pillow at night, and I'm happy with my team's decision.
I still think the Flyers are better off here.
Why?
Well, they don't have the worst overpay in the NHL right now.
That is a valid point.
That's as simple as it is to say. They don't have the greatest overpay in the league right now. I love Leo Carlsson. He is going to be so good. He already is really good. But man, paying $18 million over the next 5 years for a guy who, like, listen, we still haven't seen even a point per game season yet. So, like, that just scares the hell out of me. And when I look at the Philadelphia Flyers, they were a playoff team last year. Do I expect them to maybe fall back down a little bit? Maybe. But I would still rather look at the Flyers and say, you know what? You still have a lot of cap space where if you want to go out and do something next year now, you can. Now you don't have to trade off Owen Tippett. Now you don't have to make all these sacrifices in the form of Leo Carlsson's deal.
I think a lot of people would agree with you. I want to lead with that. But my thing is, like, that salary cap, that might not turn into anything. You know what I know? I know that Anaheim has Leo Carlsson.
Yes, but they also have now, in my opinion, the worst defensive group in the NHL. I mean, that defensive group is just appalling.
There are a lot of good counterpoints you're going to make that I'm not going to be able to argue because I get all of them. But I'm just saying, like, did I want the player? Yes, I did. And now Anaheim has the player.
Well, because if Anaheim lost Carlsson, their defense core is still the same. So,
yeah, but then
they'd be even worse off with it. I look at, obviously, Carlson's overpaid. We can all agree with that. The Ducks now They do have Kreider and Killorn, who make 12.75 between the two of them, both in the final year of a deal. Frank Vetrano at 32 at 4.5. So that puts them, those three guys put them over like $17.3 million. And most of that will come off next year. So I still think the Ducks, and the cap goes up another $9 million next year, even if you have to pay Gauthier like a fair value contract. Like, he's scored 40 goals, great. Do I think he's suddenly a $12 million player? I don't, but he might get it. So maybe he gets to 12. With the cap going up that much and most of their other guys under contract, I still think the Ducks are in a pretty good spot, because look at Beckett Seneca. When Beckett Seneca's contract comes up, Michael Granlund's $7 million is off the books. Vetrano, Kreider, Killorn are all off the books. The Ducks will still be in a good spot. They have to improve their defense. There's no doubt about that. But they still had to improve their defense anyway, and now at least they get their top line center. Yeah, he's overpaid, but it just means you have to be smarter in your. I'd rather have a first line center than have no first line center. Right? I'll take an overpaid first line center who's young than having no first line center. Because if you have no first line center, you have no chance. It's not pretty for them, but the minute the offer sheet was made, I'm like, the Ducks have no choice. They have to match this, because you would have taken years to try to find the next Leo Carlsson, because they're not bad enough to get a top 5 pick.
You're absolutely right there, in the sense that, like, there is having the first line center. That is kind of the first box you check off in terms of, are you a Stanley Cup contender or not? In my opinion, is, do you have a first line center? But the problem now, like, at least if they would have not matched, they could have had, 4 first-round picks to make a move and maybe beef up that blue line, maybe make a swing for a potential.
Like, maybe they missed 4 times. Maybe they don't
bottom
get
end
Carlson for
first line center
15 years. You know? Like,
there's a lot of what ifs for the situation, but
the Flyers are only better off if they make other good moves. But who else? Like, there's no Leo Carlsson to offer sheet next year. Like, I don't think Cutter Gauthier is Leo Carlsson, because he's not a center.
No, but Cutter Gauthier, I mean, hey, when do you get the chance to grab yourself a 40-goal scorer?
But Philly ain't doing it, right?
No.
Him and Philly, right? So that's the thing, right? So Bedard's not going to do it. Celebrini's not going to do it. Leo Carlsson, and that's why I don't think we're going to see a big run of big-time offer sheets. I think we could see more of the New Jersey offer sheets, kind of like the Blues offer sheets on the Oilers. Not huge money, but smart money to make teams have to think. Donnie, what's yours today?
Mine today is, obviously we saw the Jays have a nice performance yesterday and 10-0, and you see a great effort by the team. With 19 games before the trade deadline, when do you look and say, this is when we need to officially, like, be buyers or sellers? Because they're 2.5 games back of a playoff spot as we currently sit. And with 19 games left, I'm curious, Greg's, when is it time to decide, are we buyers or sellers?
It's a good question. I think they have time. They will know, Vladdy Guerrero's got some sort of back issue, okay, but I'm still not going to give him 100% free pass, because if it was that bad, then don't play. Or at least move him down the damn batting order. Like, I know finally he hit a home run last night, but I don't really care about one home run with Vladdy Guerrero, because I went back and I looked at Vladdy Guerrero, everyone, he hit a home run. So now suddenly, things are going to pick up for him. Well, when he hit his first home run, then he went 13 games till his next one. When he hit his second home run, it was 23 games. Third home run, 24 games. Fourth home run, 16 games until his next one. So I'm not going to hold my breath. Maybe he suddenly gets out of his funk. The All-Star break should probably help him. It'll be his longest break of the season to rest. So I thought that was smart by him. But on the Blue Jays, I'm kind of, my chips are in on the season. So I think unless they're like 5 games out, and if they're 5 games out, there could be like 7 teams ahead of them. If they're within like 3 games, I think they're buying. I really do. I think they're an organization that feels we can win. And, if we can get some other guys, healthy and everything like that. And, Vladdy eventually has got to play better. George Springer hit a home run. Maybe he wakes up. I still think they're going to go for it regardless. They'd have to be out at least 5 games for me. Dak?
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a roster constructed to be all in. I think you would need to see the Rangers or the Guardians like have an explosion here in terms of record over the next little while. And yeah, you bring up the 5-game mark, Jason. I argue it would have to be around that as well for them to not think about it. But it's a team that was just there. Obviously, we all know that very well. But it's a team that's constructed to do it again. So unless you are like beyond a shadow of a doubt buried, which obviously, you know, the mathematics aren't going to work out on that until September, but unless you're so far back and those two teams that I mentioned are doing something that seems unattainable in terms of catching up record wise, I say you continue to go all in.
The thing for me right now with the Jays is I just don't know like what would actually put them into that playoff spot. If you are buying, which I do kind of agree, fellas, I feel like this is a buy no matter what, unless, you know, everything, the wheels fall off and, you know, you're probably about 5 games back. But I just feel like they need to add so much if they actually want to contend, because so many things have gone so catastrophically wrong for their roster that, like, do you need to add 4 or 5 players? That's what it feels like, at least, to be seriously competitive.
Yeah, maybe. Like I look at it, like if we go kind of position, like obviously their third baseman. Clement's got to be one of your 2 infielders. Yep. No question. Varsho's still a good center fielder, although I'm not sold. I'm going to re-sign him. You know, if he wants big money, I'm not sure it's there. Like I'm holding out hope that Barger's going to come back, right? And I do wonder though, at some point, do they say, "Hey, we're going to play Valenzuela more than Kirk"? Like we've given Kirk a long enough run here. We got to play Valenzuela a little bit more. And I wonder, like, can Class, like last year they had a few guys surprise, right? Could Class A bring a little class to the Jays? We'll see. But, you know, their pitching's coming back around. Like, look at Hoffman. No one's even talking. Hoffman's been unreal in his new role in his last, 14, it's basically unhittable in his last 14 appearances.
He has turned it up as of late for sure. I still think you need to add at least, if you're truly going to buy, I think you do need to add at least 2 bullpen arms, not just like you never know what's going to happen with the bullpen arms, right? I think you need to add, for sure, in my opinion, at least 1 outfielder, because I just don't trust this group of outfielders. I mean, this all depends on what's going on with Addison Barger. And like, I want an infielder. There's just too many guys that, like, I just want an upgrade over right now with what I look at right now.
Okay, that is fair. It'll be interesting to see what they look at. I don't mind their bullpen. Like if they could get to 5 starters and Miles is coming on my bullpen now, well, I think my bullpen's a lot stronger because you know that guy can go 2 innings every time at least. He can go even longer sometimes. So I think that's if they could actually get. They've never had, and it's funny enough because their bullpen starts have actually been probably the best record of it. But if you could get to 5 consistent starters, I think that just makes their bullpen, because now you push Miles back into the pen, because Hoffman's been great lately. Varland's been excellent. I still don't mind Rogers. People struggle with his release point and everything as the submariner. So I just think, though, they got to find some more offense. That, to me, I think is the biggest one. You got to find some, like, and obviously most of it, like, Vladdy's got to wake up at some point. Like, I don't care. Like, yell, scream, do something. Or at least as a manager, move him down the lineup. Try it. Like, I still can't believe their best home run hitter got moved to the 6th slot. And I know it worked and hit the grand slam, but still, it's odd to me that you're like, hey, the one guy who's mashing gets moved down, and the guy who can't hit it, you know, other than a dribbler in the into the infield stays where he is. And I get loyalty, but at some point, maybe that could, you know, send a message. Okay, we got to move you down. That might get him out of his funk. Because if you just keep doing this, oh, it's okay, Vladdy, it's okay, because actions always speak louder than words. And at some point, I think the coach might have to make a tougher decision on Guerrero. Now, he won't, I think, until the All-Star break. And then they're going to hope that rest does him good. And maybe it does. But if it does, then the Jays, I wouldn't be surprised to see them get back on the winning track pretty quickly. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got some stats of the day to get to when we return. And more. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit JapaEquipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu. The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Stay big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more. Up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages, plus take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance OAC with Flexity. OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
The Riverhawks are back, and the fun is too. Catch Italian Plumber Video Game Night, Star Wars with a post-game fireworks show, and kids crash the park Sunday with a poster giveaway presented by Save On Foods. Bring the family. Kids tickets from $10 at GoHawks.ca.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
It's finally time to escape your 4 walls and see where your 4 wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with $6.50 Heineken, only at the Druid Irish Pub.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Declan Kruger, Donovan Paulson, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. As hope you are having a lovely Thursday evening, and it could be even a better Thursday evening as the Elks get set to take on the Ottawa Redblacks tonight. Elks pretty healthy from last week. Obviously, they still got injuries at the middle linebacker position, but didn't pick up any major injuries last week, so that is a good sign for them. And they're looking to go 4-1. As we are going to go around the NHL now, brought to you by McDonald's, and you can enjoy McDonald's $5 McValue meals with options like a sausage McMuffin small meal or a McDouble small meal for only $5. Check it out now at McDonald's. And the big NHL story today was the Anaheim Ducks deciding they are going to match the $18 million AAV the Philadelphia Flyers offered Leo Carlson. And so Leo Carlson, happy dude, man. Tomorrow, he gets a $19.95 million signing bonus. And then next July 1st, he gets one at $18.1 million. Whew, pretty good money if you can get it. Derek Lee from the Hockey News in Anaheim joins us to talk about this. Derek, not a real surprise, I think, at the end. Pat Verbeek, man of his word, said, hey, we will match any offer sheet. I'm sure he probably didn't think it was going to get this high, but Leo Carlson was highly sought after. There was 4 different teams who made offers to this one. After listening to Verbeek and everything, and he said, wow, we did have conversations during the year. I don't know, you can have conversations, Derek, but did you ever get the sense that they were serious enough to put an offer that he would have signed? Because obviously they weren't. Otherwise, they never would have got here.
Hey, Jason, thanks for having me. And yeah, I agree. It's kind of that thing where we've seen in the past Verbeek has not really been one to be very proactive with his restricted free agent deals. I mean, he did get Jackson Lacombe done in early October this past year, but we've seen with Troy Terry and Lukas Dostal and Mason McTavish, Trevor Zegras, Jamie Drysdale, those 3 are not here anymore. All of these negotiations have either been prolonged or there's been an action event that has required Verbeek to maybe get things done a little bit sooner than perhaps he would have liked. And this time it was Leo Carlson signing that 5-year offer sheet with the Philadelphia Flyers. So we talked to Verbeek earlier today, and he even admitted that they didn't expect the AAV to be quite as high as that. But after taking the 6 days to deliberate as they went deeper into this past week, they felt that, okay, we need to match, and there's no other reason why we shouldn't match.
Yeah, and that's fair. So the next question is going to be Cutter Gauthier. Any idea on what number it'll take to get him signed?
Well, I think it's going to be a lot higher than whatever they were looking at before, but it's going to be tough because the Ducks, they don't have as much salary space as they did before because of the Carlson contract. So it looks like they'll have a little bit around 9 or 10 left to play with. They'll be able to put Troy Terry on LTIR, get some of that relief back once the season starts. But I'm thinking it's probably going to be around $12 million a year, and obviously you want to get him signed to a long-term contract, so maybe 5 or 6 years, somewhere in that ballpark. But I think it's going to be double digits. Yeah, because I know I saw a lot of people, Gauthier is going to want close. And I'm like, yeah, but want and get are 2 different things. Like, this was a unique situation for Leo Carlson. Lots of teams were looking to offer sheet. Like, everybody believes he's going to be a number 1 center. There's just not a lot of those guys. Cutter Gauthier, as good of a goal scorer he is, he's not Leo Carlson, right? He's not a center. He doesn't necessarily have the two-way game of a Leo Carlson. So, he's more so going to be in probably the normal range of what other scorers are. Yeah, and I think a really good comparable would be for Pavel Dorofeev, the deal that he just got with the New York Rangers. I think it was $11 million for 6 years. So maybe something in that ballpark too for Gauthier might work. Yeah, no, that's fair. Now the Ducks, everybody will look at their defense and be like, it's not as good as last year. Jackson Lacombe, Pavel Minchikov,
They got Ian Moore, Tyson Hine. Then you throw in like Drew L. Hellison, Tristan Luneau. Now they did acquire Nick Jensen, but I don't think their blue line's good enough. There's already been rumblings of them trying to move off of Kreider or Killorn, or maybe try to convince someone to take Frank Vetrano, which I think would be a tough sell. So what do you think Pat Verbeek's going to do to A, get the cap space to sign Gauthier, and then B, try to improve his defense core before the season starts?
Yeah, you said it. It's going to take a little bit of surgery for Verbeek to make sure they're able to fit everybody in under the cap, especially once Terry returns. They don't have that benefit of using LTIR. But by all accounts, he's spoken about how comfortable and confident he is with the blue line, the way it's constructed currently. So having Luneau take a big step, finally step into that full-time role that they've kind of been wanting him to have for the last couple of years. He did have that knee infection a couple of years ago that kind of derailed his season. I think if that hadn't happened, he might have been able to have a strong World Juniors, would have been able to come back from that and maybe insert himself into the lineup on a more regular basis. But because of all that time that he missed, he had to go back to the AHL. He got a couple of good seasons under his belt now, so I think he's ready for that full-time role. And then also you got Jackson Lacombe still. I mean, you guys know how good of a player he is. You've got Minchikov now, who's also on that long-term contract. So they've got the guys that they feel can be part of this core, this young core. It's just a matter of getting those reps and having enough experience to be able to have these long playoff runs in the future.
When Derek Lee joins us, talking Anaheim Ducks. And if you look at the Ducks in goal, obviously we know that Lucas Dostal's their starter. Ville Husso, they did sign Laurent Brossoit to a one-year deal at $1.1 million. Are you expecting Brossoit for sure to be the number 3, or is this going to be a real battle to see who wins that backup job?
I think Husso will have the upper hand. He was the third goalie going into last season because they had acquired Peter Mrazek in the John Gibson trade. But because of how often Mrazek was injured, Husso ended up being the number 2 in the long run and through the end of the season. So I think he'll have the upper hand. Again, Brossoit also has a couple of injury issues of his own that he just recently came back from. So I think Husso will be the backup to start. And then who knows? There's always injuries that can happen. The Ducks had a bunch of injuries last year in the goaltending front. So I think to start, it'll be Husso, and then Brossoit is kind of your insurance policy.
Okay. That's fair. What was the reaction leading up, from last Friday until today for Ducks fans? Was there anger? Was there like, okay, we'll sign this? How much nervousness was there until this announcement came down?
Yeah, I think it was pretty mixed reactions. There's understandably, people are asking, well, how come he's signing for this much? Because it only allows so much space for the rest of the guys like Gauthier, and then down the line, guys like Beckett Seneca. Also, people asking, does he even want to be a Duck anymore? If he wanted to be a Duck and he wanted to stay, then why would he sign this contract to be with another team? So it's completely understandable from the fan perspective to think of like, well, this guy was somebody that the Ducks drafted really high, a really high pick. He wants to be here for the long run, but he signed with another team. So what does this lead up to? And I think it'll take a little bit maybe for fans to kind of, I guess, I don't know if get over is the right word, but just kind of just walk through things, just sift through things and see how it shakes out. I think by the time the regular season comes around, everybody will kind of be back on the right side of things.
Do you think like the Ducks organization has always shied away from signing bonuses and other things like that? What's the ripple effect for how the organization runs after matching this offer sheet?
I don't think it changes that much. Just based on what we heard this morning from Verbeek, he said that they had full confidence from ownership in matching this. I don't think that really changed anything that they're going to do in the future, at least for that, just the signing bonuses and whatnot. We already saw them give a $3 million signing bonus to Pavel Minchikov for the first year of his extension. So we'll probably start to see a little bit more of an adjustment just because that's the way the league is going to be shifting.
Okay.
Teams are probably also going to know that the way that their structure is set up now, it's going to be a little bit different. You don't want to end up in this situation again where you have someone like Leo Carlsson heading to restricted free agency and someone comes along with some big front-loaded offer sheet, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Okay, I understand that. One last one. So now they got this one done. Cutter Gauthier can't get an offer sheet. He doesn't have arbitration, so they don't have to rush into it. But is your sense that the Gauthier contract won't be coming until a trade is made?
It's really tough to say. I think it might have to wait until that, just because you think about where they are in terms of the space they have with the salary cap. Of course, they can put Terry on LTIR. They'll have that relief for a little bit. But once he comes back, you have to be cap compliant, and they won't in their current state. So it's going to be interesting to see who does get moved out, because I think someone like Alex Killorn, he's extremely valuable to the team. I mean, Chris Kreider, he kind of tailed off towards the end of the season, but he had 50-plus points, and he's still a valuable scorer. So I think it might have to be another situation like last year when they traded Ryan Strome for a 7th-round pick to the Calgary Flames. You got to attach a pick to Vetrano and send him to somewhere where the team needs to hit the cap floor.
Yeah. All right. Well, Derek, man, we really appreciate the rundown. Thanks so much for this. And everybody in Anaheim can exhale. They've got their number one center for at least 5 more years.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me.
There you go. That's Derek Lee from the Hockey News in Anaheim. I don't think many of us, although I will say we had a poll that had like almost 6,000 votes, and it was like 68% in favor that let the Flyers match. Now, I had a few people joking, Greg, it must be all Flyers fans voting on that. And maybe it was, but either way, the Ducks, I just didn't think there was any way they couldn't match. You just kind of have to bite the bullet. Yes, we're overpaying them, but we still have our number one center. And there's lots of value in that. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got 5 questions, stats of the day, and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Jaffa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Redblacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service, presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Think a quality golf cart is out of your budget? Think again. At the Golf Cart People, we have a fantastic selection of fully inspected, pre-owned carts starting at just $4,500. Choose from gas, electric, or lithium-ion power to fit your lifestyle. And the best part, every used cart comes with a 1-year warranty for total peace of mind. Why wait? Get the cart you've always wanted today. Visit the Golf Cart People. Find out more at golfcartpeople.com.
Alberta is growing, but our highways are crumbling. Are you tired of the rough ride? In the last 15 years, our population has grown with hundreds of thousands more cars and trucks on our highways. Today, more than 15% of Alberta's highways are in poor condition. Cutting highway maintenance doesn't save money. It makes repairs more expensive. Don't let the government ignore the problem. Your MLA works for you. Tell them to fix our roads. Visit fixourroads.com for more information.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Nation Golf Tournament. Friday, August 28th, 2026 at Millwoods Golf Course. Golf, drinks, swag, food, and fun. Every swing supports Gregor's Grad and helps graduates shine on graduation day. Early bid pricing ends July 18th, so sign up at nationgear.ca before it sells out.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
And we continue on game day, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. If you missed it, France is moving on to the semi-finals as they have a 2-0 victory over Morocco. Today, Mbappe opens the scoring, his 20th goal in 20 World Cup games. Pretty darn impressive. It's the Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And you like France, their odds probably only got worse. You got to almost pick another team. If you like them, Argentina, Spain. What about Belgium? How about England? A lot of excitement around England and Norway. That's going to be a hell of a match, man. I'm looking forward to that one for sure. Check it all out at playalberta.ca. Now, let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, as the Brick's appliance sale is on now. You can take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance. This is OAC with Flexity card. And if you find a lower advertised price on appliance, The Brick will beat it. Check it out, The Brick and brick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
Okay, question number 1, Edmonton Elks game day. So, of course, you have a prediction and then a bold prediction.
Go ahead.
I think they win. But I think they win by keeping it simple. And I think the final score, kind of similar to week 1, may not reflect how one-sided the game actually could be. And I think that one-sidedness comes in terms of time of possession. Justin Rankin, 2 touchdowns would be my bold prediction, but I think they keep this one really simple, and that's how they win the game.
All right. I think the Elks, I'm going to say they win. My bold prediction is they win big. And put up the most points that they've had all season, and no fumbles. That might be the boldest prediction. No fumbles for the Elks today.
It would be huge. Question number 2, going to switch up the wording just a touch, but with the Ducks matching Leo Carlson's offer sheet, what do the Flyers do next?
Yeah, it's a good question. Honestly, that was their big swing. And just because you have one big swing doesn't mean that automatically there's like a second one. Because I know a lot of people, just offer sheet Connor Bedard. Chicago's not in a position, right? A, Bedard has to sign it. And B, Chicago has boatloads of cap space. They would match it. So it would kind of just be, you never want to be the team that make an offer sheet after offer sheet and never works. So I think the Flyers, that was their big swing. Now it didn't work. They look and say, okay, let's have Porter Martone and Michikov, and let's get those guys up to speed a little bit. They might try to address Dylan Larkin, but Dylan Larkin only added one more team to his no-trade list today, Dallas. So it's Dallas, Minnesota, Vegas, and Florida. That's it. So even if the Flyers wanted him, they couldn't get him. So I think for now, they probably just try to find a way to better their young guys and try to have them get better.
Question number 3, what does Cutter Gauthier's next contract look like? And then assuming it is a bridge deal, what does the one after that look like?
I don't know if his next one's going to be a bridge. I think Carlson signed 5. I think that they're going to want Gauthier to sign 5. I don't see him signing longer than that, though. But I understand your point of view. Like, I think if it's 5, he's going to be getting 12 mil plus. If he wants to go shorter, I don't think he's going to get a bigger AV. Now, he'll still get a good AV. So I'm going to say he goes 5 years.
And question number 4, you just talked about him. Similar to Kirill Marchenko, I asked this about him. What team will Dylan Larkin be on to start next season?
Well, that's a really good question. Well, if we go by the list, I think the fact that he added Dallas tells me that are we going to have now Robertson has to sign. That's the issue for Detroit, right? Like Detroit right now is not a place that's very attractive for big guys. So I'll say Larkin ends up in Minnesota.
Okay. And question number 5, no Brandon Douglas slander today, but what is the most overrated TV show, movie, and book of all time?
Go ahead.
I think the most overrated book, or one of the most overrated books, is The Kite Runner. Most overrated TV show. It's a little tougher because TV shows, they can be comfort shows to some people. It's just one of those things that kind of like you throw on in the background, whatever. The Big Bang Theory to me, I think would probably be my answer. Wildly popular. Never thought it was that funny. And then movie is a really, really tough one. But I always thought that Pulp Fiction was a touch overrated.
Interesting. All right.
Still a great movie though.
Yeah. That's a good one. So if we go to me, most overrated movie I always thought was The Royal Tenenbaums. Thought that movie was terrible.
It's been on my list recently. I've been meaning to watch it.
Couldn't believe why so many people raved about it. I watched it. I'm like, this is brutal. I didn't like it at all, but that's just my own personal opinion. So, and that's what something about this is personal. Most overrated TV show. Now that's a good one. I might go 2.5 Men. I wasn't a huge fan, right? The next one, honestly, I don't know if this might Stranger Things. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I thought the first year was good, and then it just went downhill. And I thought it got a little off. Now, most overrated book. We could have a lot of discussions about this. And now this one would depend on for a variety of things. Now, I could get a lot of people that would freak out with one comment about the most overrated book. But the thing is, it's not just one. There's multiple editions of it, and it's caused more anger and frustration than anything else. I think you know what book I'm referencing, but I'm not even going to say it. But you figure it out. So if I had to pick the most overrated book, because if I don't like a book, I don't finish reading it. Like I get into it and I'm like, you know what? I'm either in or I'm out. So maybe the most overrated book for me, oh God. The Chrysalids. And it's probably because I know you guys are both, and it's not even that popular of a book, but we had to read that book in junior high, and it was the worst book I've ever, it was so terrible. I'm like, how is this in the curriculum? The Chrysalids. If you're of a certain vintage, you might remember that. It was easy. Like we read Animal Farm, unreal book. And then we had to read the Chrysalids, and I was like, what is this? It's like going from McDavid down to the ECHL of books. It was awful. I don't think it's part of the curriculum anymore because somebody finally woke up and said the Chrysalids is a terrible book to read. You probably never read it, have you, Cons? I mean, Deck, you never even heard of it.
It's like a post-apocalypse, and the kid has mind powers.
Yeah,
that's
so
the one. Yeah, I've never read it though. But
so bad.
Yeah, there's a lot you could put in that category. Like I think Great Gatsby's in there, Catcher in the Rye, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah, Catcher in the Rye. Like some books are hard because the time that you're in, it's hard to relate to certain books. But at the time, like Catcher in the Rye was pretty damn good at it. But it's hard because some books don't age as well, just like some TV shows or movies, right? Like I watched Remembering the Titans with my son because I've been waiting. Like there's certain movies I'm like, God, I can't wait to watch this movie. And so and I remember he's like, Dad, there's a lot of racism. Like because he's 12 years old, right? Obviously, it's not something that he's ever experienced, thankfully, or sees around him, right? So that's good. But watching it was very informative. But I'm telling you, I thought that movie held up quite well. Because now when you think about it, and obviously you've seen it, right, Deck?
Yes.
Okay. When was the last time you saw it?
Oh, it's been years, probably. Yeah.
Donnie P, you haven't seen Remembering the Titan? Oh my, what? It's a true story, number one. That makes it even better. But it was like Denzel's great in that movie. There's lots of scenes. And actually, after rewatching, I was like, man, I got to get Ronnie Bass on the show. Like, I would love to get one of the members because there's always some things that are, I like to call it like, they're dramatized. Did it really actually happen? The whole story's the same, but then they make something, in the movie that makes it look better. And they're like, well, that really didn't happen that way. But so I'd be curious about it. But like the racism factor was no joke. And, that was going on in 1971. And sadly, in some places, there's people out there right now that have endured racism in 2026, which sucks. Right? It's one thing I can't wrap my head around it. I just can't. I'm like, I really don't care what color you are. Now, I have an issue with people who don't want to respect certain culture things. That I have a problem with, 100%. Right? Like, I don't love the fact that we want to be a country that claims equal rights for women, and then you let some people in who, in their culture, women are second-class citizens. I'm like, we can't have both. You can't do it both ways. That's just my opinion on it. But Remembering the Titans aged incredibly well, and I was very happy. Because, 12-year-old son, we watched some of the movies, and he really liked Dumb and Dumber. He thought that was awesome. He didn't, what was the one? Oh, I want to watch Coach Carter with him. I think Coach Carter's almost need to be a little bit older because it's kind of a little bit more serious, right? Like his speeches to the players and, it's kind of really talking about being men and giving them the opportunity. And so I wonder if maybe he's, a year or two away from really getting out, because you only get one chance to watch the movie for the first time with your kid. And if they're not at the right time, then they won't like it, which stinks. Because I remember my dad, I watched a lot now, some of my dad's movies, I still laugh at, like The Thing. That was his favorite movie. Like, I don't know how many times I watched that movie with him, probably 2 or 3. And I was just like, I don't really get it. But he loved it so much. I kind of liked it because he was so excited about it. So I don't know. What is there a movie, Deck? I know it's not in your near future anytime soon, but you're like, down the road, I would want to watch blank with my son.
Stand By Me. Because it's my favorite movie of all time.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the message of friendship and everything.
Yeah. It's a great movie. Yeah, we've looked at that. And because the rating, I think probably this summer, maybe next year, is when he can watch it. But yes, there's a few, like, I can't wait to watch Superbad. So funny, right? Dying laughing to watch that one.
What about like Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, that's, that's one of those movies I don't like. Spicoli's funny, but there's certain parts of that movie where I'm like, I don't really want to watch sexual innuendo with my own kid. Like, because I know that's going to be like, he'll experience, but that's more like you watch that with your buddies, right? Like, that's kind of where I come.
Although, to be fair, I don't know if Superbad screams family flick to me either.
No, it's not a family flick, but it's humor, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's funny.
Yeah.
And there's not as much. It's more like the movie's not really, like, obviously there's the one scene at the end, but there's really not a lot of sex in that movie at all. Really. That's not what it's about compared to Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right? Like, there's rape and there's some other things. You're like, geez, not necessarily. Like, Spicoli ordering the pizza. Now that's a classic. There's a few, but I think you could watch this, but there's another movie that I'm not sure it ages well enough for his generation to like it. Bear is Superbad. It only came out not even 20 years ago yet. It'll be 20 years next year because it came out in 2007. So I still think, like, I watched it again, I don't know, 6 months ago. Dude, though, if you're in a bad mood, honestly, you just throw on Superbad. The first 45 minutes are unbelievably funny. There's other parts too, but I just felt the first 45 is just like, it's awesome, right? It's like Anchorman. I get that it's stupid. It's Anchorman. So, like, I'd be curious what other movies people would want to watch with their son. Dads, let me know. Hey, Greg's Chrysalids, what an outstanding reference. You just brought back a lot of PTSD. Thanks from AK. See, exactly. I'm telling you, that book was terrible. And like, I read a lot of books. And even if it's usually, I'll be like, oh yeah, it wasn't bad. You know, I might not have loved it. But the Chrysalids still, like, God, I don't think I've ever burned a book in my life. But if someone gave me a copy of it, I would burn it. That's the level of anger that I have towards the Chrysalids. It's just not that good. Let's get to Declan Kruger and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Stop in right now. You'll feel like an employee because you get employee pricing all month long. Fantastic deals. No BS. Legit great deals. NorthgateGM.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
It was France over Morocco 2-0 in the FIFA World Cup early today. Kylian Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele with the goals for France. In the MLB, games going on right now, both tied at 0-0. Mariners and Marlins and A's and Tigers. Finals from earlier, so the Braves over the Pirates 10-5. Mets over the Royals 7-3, and the Yankees big on the Rays 12-4. Red Sox also beating the White Sox 2-1, and Guardians over the Twins 5-2. In Wimbledon today, women's semifinal action was Linda Noskova over Marta Kostyuk in straight sets. Karolina Mukova needing 3 sets in the third set tiebreak to get past Coco Gauff. From around at the sporting world, Hayley Wickenheiser announcing her departure from the Maple Leafs front office, while Macklin Celebrini has been named the IIHF Male Player of the Year. And in the NBA world, the Toronto Raptors and LA Clippers trade for Kawhi Leonard has been put on pause while the NBA jumps into an investigation surrounding his time with the Clippers. And finally, the Edmonton Riverhawks will be in action tonight against Nanaimo, a 7:05 first pitch for that one. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been Sports 1440 Update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
An electrical solar team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Cheers. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton sports leader. Sports 1440.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more, up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliances OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Grove Rotary Rib Fest returns July 10th to 12th in Central Park, Spruce Grove. Become a VIP to earn reserved seating, dedicated bar service, on-site parking, and more. Brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires in Spruce Grove. Visit groverotaryribfest.ca.
Hi, Edmonton. With summer adventures calling, there's no better way to answer than from behind the wheel of your Subaru WRX. The WRX delivers turbocharged performance, confidence-inspiring Subaru all-wheel drive, and the kind of driving excitement that makes you look for excuses to hit the road. Summer won't last forever, but the memories will. So make sure you give yourself something to remember. Visit your local Subaru dealer today and test drive the WRX yourself. Welcome to Uncommon.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care, Edmonton's multidisciplinary health clinic at West Edmonton Mall, physicians, physio, massage, sports psychology, and more. One team, one roof, one plan. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
A little GNR on a Thursday afternoon, a victorious Thursday afternoon for France as they get by Morocco 2-0 and move on to the semifinal of the World Cup. And there were 7 left. Tomorrow, France will find out who they play in the semifinal as Spain battles Belgium. Then Saturday, a doubleheader. Norway, England, 3 o'clock our time. Argentina, Switzerland at 7 p.m. And away we go. Man, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. It's pretty good. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, boys, speaking of new movies, I just can't get into the new Star Wars. Can't do it. King of Fort Nasty. Well, it's very different, for sure. Like, it's different than the original. But there are some parts of it I quite like. I think the original Star Wars is now what? Number 4, technically, in the movie. I quite liked the original number 1. But that one was, if I want to call it now, it's not the original, but now the number 1. I don't even know the name of it. I just know the order. So, but I do know that Jar Jar Binks was kind of annoying at times. But if you do recall, C-3PO's personality was kind of annoying. He's a little bit of a whiny guy. Right? It's kind of like Jar Jar. Well, Jar Jar is more just his voice, I think, was irritating. It's just kind of how it goes. 504, The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, as we get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists, and they're hiring. Looking for pipe layers, top men, operators, and more. Go to gsconstruction.ca, look up careers, as Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us on an evening spec. No rain right now, which is pretty good. And the Elks an opportunity to sweep the season series against Ottawa and really get back on track after, according to all their players and coaches, a subpar effort in BC.
Yeah, they got another team that's Ottawa is 0-4, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, they got another team that's pretty desperate. Like I thought, you know what, the Elks, they weren't great their last game. They weren't very good. But BC was really good. BC played with desperation. They had a running back. They blocked for them. They opened up holes. They made plays when they had to, and they looked like a team that was 0-3 and trying to save their season here and not let this thing become a train wreck. Well, Ottawa's going to be the same. So, yeah, you can play better, and you should be able to beat Ottawa. And yeah, you're at home, and yeah, you got nice weather. But, the old saying goes, I tell this to Shulk all the time, buddy, the other team's trying too. And when the other team's 0-4, they're really trying. So you better not think you could just chuck your cleats over the sidelines and win tonight. You got to play if you're going to beat Ottawa.
Oh, yeah. I think for sure they have to. I think to me, it's going to start on both lines of scrimmage. The offensive line, I thought that they didn't get off the ball as well as they would like in BC. And the D-line didn't stop the run at all. So, those are the two areas where, and usually if you can win the line of scrimmage battle, you got a much better chance of winning. But Ottawa just simply is not that good. And, I don't expect Edmonton to take them lightly just based on the whole, down at practice. There wasn't, there were smiles, of course, because, hey, life's good. There's no rain for them. It was awesome. But there was a lot of, without even asking, players talking openly about their frustration from last week.
No, I mean, listen, it's professional sports. You can't dwell on last week. Like, we've heard it. It's a cliche, but it's a cliche because it's true, Jay. You've heard it many times as I've heard it. You play a game, you spend some time and you enjoy your win, or you mourn your loss, and then you wake up and you move on. Like, so they sucked last week. Don't let sucking last week make you suck this week, right? Like, they're a better team than Ottawa, and you got Ottawa at home in your barn, and you should be a little, I don't think like emotion. This isn't about emotion. This isn't about, we lost, so we're madder and now we're going to win. That's not how sports works. You execute better. You're a better team. You got better players. You should probably have a better system. And, again, win the line of scrimmage. That's how you win football games. If you win the line of scrimmage and you win the turnover battle, you probably win 92% of the time. So, win the things that football teams win. And I guarantee you, if you play solid, good football, execute, let your best guy in rank and be your best guy, put the ball in his hands, you should beat Ottawa because they're not that good.
Yes, I would agree. And really, again, from an organizational standpoint, you win tonight at home, fans go home happy, but also now you're 4-1. And your next home game is next Friday night against the only team that's beat you. And, good team. They got Nathan Rourke, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And you're a team that says, hey, man, we got to have a little redemption tour. You could be pushing 30,000 fans next Friday night if Mother Nature does her job.
Yeah, well, that would be awesome. I mean, listen, I'll never tell a fan how to spend their money. Like, I've said this lots, Jay, they pay our wage. Without the sports fans, you and me got nothing. So I won't tell them what to do, but I would say to you that the Elks are beginning now to earn their respect and to earn their entertainment dollar and to earn their attention. Like, I'm a guy that sits at the lake and goes, why would I ever come in and watch the Elks play? They suck. Well, guess what? They don't suck now. They're putting a pretty good brand of football out there. And a guy should, like, they deserve your dollar. They've shown you that they're earning your respect now. And that has to come first. It's not a charity out there, buddy. People don't just throw money at a team for fun, especially this Elks team over the last 4 or 5 years. So they're putting themselves in a position to finally start to get some good houses there. And, oh, boy, they could use them. Because I've been watching the crowds, Jay, in Calgary and Edmonton the last few days on TV, last few weeks. And, I mean, Edmonton's crowds are no good, and I think Calgary's are worse.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely have been. The offer sheet spec was matched. I don't think it's a major surprise over that. But, the Ducks now, it's okay. They made the decision, which I'm not going to say it was easy, but I thought it was a pretty obvious decision. You got to keep your number one center. You grit your teeth on the contract and move forward. But now they've got to find a way to get Gauthier, and they got to try to upgrade their blue line, which has been, they've downgraded their blue line so far compared to last year. It's not even close, really. If you look at it, like, I really like Jackson Lacombe. They're obviously hoping Minchikov can take a big step, but they don't really have a second pair right now.
Well, no. I mean, who have they lost? They lost Carlson and Trouba, two veteran players that are both good.
Yeah, and Gudis.
And Gudis. I forgot about
Zellweger. And Zellweger.
A nice young player that could have slipped in and like, to me, if I'm losing Gudis, I say, well, that's not bad. It's time to give Zellweger a shot. Well, guess what? You lost him too. So that's four guys off that blue line, man, and four important people. Like, we sit here in Edmonton and go, oh boy, how are we going to split up Darnell Nurse's 20 minutes? And they've got some guys and they've got some players that I can sit down and figure out how they're going to deal with those 20 minutes. And I'm still got to see it to believe it completely, but I think they can do it in Edmonton. But holy man, that's 4 guys in Anaheim. Like, it's a lot more than 20 minutes. It's a lot of veteran leadership. It's a lot of guys that played the tough clutch minutes. Jackson Lacombe he's going to be an all-star forever. But below him, you know what? That decor can be had. Patty Verbeek, now that he put this fire out with his first line centerman, he's got to get back to building the defense there, because I think we've seen a lot of teams. Toronto Maple Leafs always come to mind for me, Jay. They've had lots of good players, but the main thing about that team, from my perspective, is they've just never had in the last 10 years, their defense has always been exceedingly average. And when the chips are down, they lose. Anaheim needs a better defense if they're going to go something here.
Oh yeah, there's no question. It was interesting. I don't know if you were watching or listening to Pat Verbeek's press conference, but his one was, well, you know, we're kind of flattered that they offered him because it shows us we're doing the right thing. I chuckled at that, but then he says, I think increased cap space has led to different circumstances. We're going to have to do business in a different manner going forward. And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, people have been talking about this for months now. Verbeek said that, oh, you know, we did have contract negotiations during the year. But for a guy who's historically tried to pinch pennies, you can have contract negotiations. Say, yeah, we'll offer you, 7 times 7, 8 times 7, whatever the number is. Clearly, they never, ever made any significant offer to get to this point. There's no way they did.
Yeah, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in how it unfolded. We almost reverse engineer these things to decide if Verbeek did a good job. Like if he would have played a little bit of hardball, and instead of giving, like, I think the offer when they last sat down was he offered 12 and Carlson's people wanted 15. And, if he would have held to his guns and got it for 12 and a half, we'd all be talking about Patty Verbeek as a pretty smart guy. But then comes the offer sheet, right? And all of a sudden now you're paying him 18. And now you're not such a smart guy anymore, right? Like, Kenny Holland did some good things. He absolutely blew it when it came to Broberg and Holloway. And there's just the history tells us that. You're never going to change that. So yes, Verbeek, the guys, Jay, the guys who know, the guys who are really plugged in, a lot of them have said, and I've seen it echoed around the hockey world now, he's been pretty tight with a lot of these guys. Everyone has to fight for every dollar. Anaheim's been a budget team. Like, they're not rolling in money in Anaheim. I know their owner's mega rich, but that team's revenues aren't what the Oilers are, for instance. They've usually had a self-imposed cap in Anaheim. Now they got all these young guys. Now they got to start paying guys. And Patty Verbeek learned the hard way that if you don't, if you try to pinch on every guy, sometimes it doesn't go your way, does it?
No. Not at all. Mark Spector joins us.
Sorry to interrupt. Remember, Jay, that the Ducks are like, what are the Ducks in the Southern California market? Are they the 10th team? Are they the 13th team? Like, everybody's ahead of them, right? UCLA, USC, the Rams, the Dodgers, maybe the Angels. I don't know for sure. The Kings, like. There is MLS, basketball, NBA.
Yeah, the Lakers are pretty good. Clippers.
The Clippers. Like, where are the Ducks? Are they in the top 10 in that market?
Probably not.
Probably not. So how much can you charge for tickets? Like, it's easy for the Oil. We're a one-horse town. God bless the Elks. They're not in a one-horse town down there. It's hard to be in Anaheim. It's not as easy as you might think.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And that's why, to me, I think that they had to make this move, no question about it. And I'll be curious to see. Dylan Larkin expanded his trade list by a whopping 1 team today, as he Anzar Khan reports that now he's up to 4 teams: Florida, Vegas, as well as Minnesota and Dallas. Does the addition, and when I look at Dallas, I'm like, well, who does Dallas have? They traded Maverick Bourque. Jason Robertson sure as hell ain't going to Detroit. Well, I shouldn't say for sure, but if I don't see why he would be going to Detroit if they're getting rid of Larkin. He's like, well, who the hell am I playing with there? So I don't necessarily get it. But like, if I'm Steve Eisner, I'm like, okay, great. It's another team. That's not really doing much.
No, I mean, I think all of us in the real world look at some of these guys with their trade lists and say, who you think you are, right? Like, to Darnell Nurse gave Edmonton a 3-team trade list, and Bowman didn't have a deal that he liked. But to his credit, when Bowman came to him and said, "Look, I found a deal I like. It's with a team that you should want to play for, but you got to expand your list." The Nurse camp expanded, and the deal got done. And I think, right, everybody came out of that pretty happy. Hey, Jay, like the Nurse got his new team. Edmonton got rid of all the salary. I think everybody's happy. We all live happily ever after. Larkin's got to play some ball here. Like if he's the one asking for this trade, he wants out, but he only wants out to certain places. As a guy on the outside with no dog in the fight, I wouldn't care if Yzerman hung him out to dry for 2 years until he expands his no trade list to about 12 teams, I say.
Oh, 100% agree with you, man. He's got, and the thing is, he's got 5 years left at 8.7 mil. Like, it's a very attractive player on a lot of fronts, as a player and as a salary cap, AAV. So you're Steve Yzerman. You're not just giving this away, man. There's no chance.
No, it's one of your best players, and you're building something there and all those things. So, no, you can't. You know, Yzerman said it. They pay me to do the best I can do for the Detroit Red Wings, not for Dylan Larkin. So let's see where it unfolds. But I would say the average person out there watching hockey like you and me, the sentiment kind of falls on the side of the team a little bit more than it does on the side of the player, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. No, that is totally totally valid. Spec, have yourself a wonderful day. Enjoy the weekend, and we will chat with you on Monday.
All right. Thanks, Jake.
There you go. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. There are some rumblings out there in online trade rumors that are interesting. You know, you've got the Stars and, you know, the people, like some big names where I'm just not sure that this really makes much sense, to be honest, right? Like, it had some some pretty big names going, and it ends up with Hellebuck in Buffalo. There's no chance that's I think going to happen. But I do think that, even though I know now a lot of the focus in the NHL has been on the offer sheets, there are still guys, and I think there's lots of uncertainty left for teams, and I think we will still see some significant player names moved over the next 7 weeks. Now, remember, training camp gets going, and it's an abbreviated training camp from previous years, shorter preseason. Right? Like, the Oilers play 4 games in 8 days, and boom, then the season starts 3-4 days later. Excuse me. This is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We will take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear from a gentleman who made quite the impression last weekend, looking to make another one, and talking about how much does your partner care about your job? I think it depends on what your job is. Talk about it next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience, All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Redblacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service, presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Redblacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service, presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, oodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, nood, oodle, noodle, nood, oodle, nood, oodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, oodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, nood, oodle, noodle, nood.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Your Co-op Grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology to help support your entire farm operation. As your crops fill and mature, we're here to help you assess crop health, manage pre-harvest applications, and make informed decisions for a successful harvest. Co-op, we're all growing together. Here for your farm, here for your family. Talk to your Co-op Grow team today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular menu price order. Enter promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
I'm 24. Lovely Thursday afternoon. Sports 1440. Sports 1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely, lovely Thursday. It's game day. The Elks taking on the Redblacks. Tonight is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. And it's time now to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center, new state-of-the-art facility in Nisku, has 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena that's going to host the Gene Simmons Band in a very quaint and intimate setting. It's a fantastic place to watch a concert. I got a few tickets left, so get them online at silenticecenter.com. Joel DeMalenko, of course, had himself a great week last week. He is having a really good start to the season for the green and gold, and I caught up with him talking about his season, but also a special guest joined us in the interview.
The whole defense has to settle in a little bit, and it wasn't until we got to the second half where we really settled in doing what we do. So, yeah, it's just going to slow down for him more and more, and he's going to have more confidence going out there and knowing his job. And you can practice it all you want, but there's no excuse for, having banked reps in the game and that game experience. So it's going to be a really good game for him, I'm sure.
You had yourself a monster game, and I know that the win's what matters most, but just your evolution and your ability to impact the games. Do you sense that, and do you feel it? And has your internal expectation bar risen significantly on what you're capable of and what you should be doing every week?
I play and prepare, at a pretty high standard. So, every day I'm going out there, and it's just me doing my job. I'm not always fly around to the football. I think I have gotten a lot better at knowing what offense is doing and trying to target us and stuff like that. But otherwise, that game wasn't. I left some plays out there too, so it wasn't good enough. My wife asked me for a grade, and I said I give myself about a B. You know what I mean? So it's never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems. All I care about is winning at the end of the day. And when we're playing good, sound football, you're gonna have games like that where it looks like you're jumping off the stat sheet or whatever. But we're all playing team defense here and flying around, and everyone's trying to make as many plays as they can, right?
I know that it varies from couple to couple, and some wives they're watching film with their husbands, and some are really into it, and others are just like, you know what, hey, I support you, it's great, I hope you don't get hurt. Where does your wife fall in that category?
She's very supportive. Sorry, I got our little guy here. He's interested in the microphone, but well, it's tough because when I get home, it's like I gotta go and watch more film. So it's either like I'm gonna be away from them or they can hang out with me. So they are hanging out with me, and then I get to watch film with them, and then she's in there, so she's gonna watch too. And sometimes I have the screen like minimized too, because you can see all like the data and like information of like what they're doing on the screen. But she's like, why do you always watch a film so small? I'm like, oh, I guess I can make it a bigger window for you. And so yeah, she loves to learn. We'll record some of our meetings, and I'll listen back to them, and she'll listen to me, and then she'll like have me stop it and like ask questions. So she's pretty into it. She's trying to learn this defense, and by the end of the season, I'm sure she'll probably know it better than I do. So she's a smart cookie, that's for sure.
Well, having an extra set of eyes is never a bad thing.
Absolutely.
In the film where now you got your young son, he's 4 months old here.
Yeah.
If he wants, will he be a football player?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, let's be honest. We're setting him up for it, but he can be whatever he wants, but he's going to be great. There's going to be a very high standard in the way he does everything. So I'm excited to see how this little guy continues to grow and develop, and so proud of him already. He's only 4 months. I can be proud of a 4-month-old, you know what I mean? But super proud, new father, and this has just been one of the greatest joys of my life.
How has being a new dad, if any, changed preparation, relaxed you, maybe easier when you come home from games? How is it?
Yeah, well, it's still new, figuring it all out, but different level. Like, I'm just excited to see him, whether we win or lose, right? And whether I had a good day or a bad day, he's excited to see me. I was weird on our first away game. I think every time I called my wife, he was down for a nap. And then he would, when he'd hear my voice, he'd pop straight up out of his nap, out of a deep sleep, and be like, is that my dad? And so just seeing things like that, and seeing him grow and kind of be more aware of his surroundings and everything. And them being up here, it's just such a blessing. Just so thankful for my wife to make the sacrifice to be up here so we can all be together. And it's just an added motivation, got a lot of, whys of why I like to play this game and who I do it for, and just added this one here, and he's a pretty strong one, and I love him so much. So,
well, there you go, Joel DeBlanco with his young son, 4 months old, and it was interesting. Listening him talk about his wife. It's kind of one thing you maybe don't really get. You're a football guy during the season; they watch a ton of film, and so his wife gets in and is watching and understanding it, and you can enjoy the game way more. I had the pleasure many years ago when I first started out in this gig. Bruce Beaton was an offensive lineman for the Elks and for the Esks back then, and he had went to Acadia. And one day my brother, I was talking to my brother, he's like, hey, say hi to Bruce for me, because he went to Acadia at the same time. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. So I go up to Bruce and I'm talking to him. My brother calling, and he's like, what? Oh. And the football team and the hockey team didn't really get along, but My brother was the guy who worked out, and him and Bruce got along. And Bruce Beaton was a huge human. And so as I got to talk to him, and I was like, man, and I didn't play football growing up. Like, I understood the game, but I really wanted to understand the O-line way more. And every time I try to watch the game live, I'd end up gravitating away to the ball carrier. Well, I'm watching the quarterback, right? I'm not watching the O-line. I'm watching where the ball is. It's just hard. He says, well, he goes, here, I'll make you a deal. And Bruce's family hadn't come with him, so he was living by himself. And he said, hey, you come to my house, bring some beer, and we'll watch film. All right. So I show up with a flat of beer back then, like not thinking I'll drink it all, just because I'll leave some for him. And we sit down, and he's got the tape. And obviously, I've never watched film like this before. It was the best 2 hours to understand the game that I've ever had. And so then when I could ask questions, it was way better. The other thing, though, I've never seen, like, Bruce Beaton was he's like 300 pounds in shape. That guy could drink beer, too. Like, it was about a 2 or 3 to 1 ratio for me that night. But it was unreal to sit and be able to learn the game. And so I can understand, his wife, he says, hey, she's really smart. She watches the game. If you're watching film all the time and you ask questions, you're going to learn. So more people, if they could have the opportunity to watch film, I think would understand the game a ton. And it's something that I've always argued that I would. I know that they've had like football 101 before with but I think there's tons of fans who love the game, but who haven't played the game. It's not like hockey can kind of figure it out. And more people have played hockey than they played football. That's just a fact. I do think flag football is helping. There's more kids playing flag football now, so that helps. But Jack, I know you played in high school, so you must watch some film. I think if I was like, we should probably have like a film one day. Maybe we'll put it on like Eddie Steele and get a few guys, and we host like a legit film session where people can sit down and really understand what they're talking about in certain sets.
I've thought about that as well, like doing an Elks Nation kind of watch along thing like that with Eddie. And, as like the replay comes up, he can kind of break it down if there's no sound because it's a bunch of people or whatever. I think it would be great because I think football, obviously I think you need 12 people to kind of work in cohesion for the play to work. But there are just so many things people don't always understand, like route trees. You may hear the term, but you may not know which routes, are in the route tree. You may hear about gap responsibilities. You may not know what the gaps are. So I think it's a lot of stuff like that people would be really interested in I've thought about that a lot as well, doing with Elks Nation just for a chance to kind of, learn all those things.
Yeah, I just think the game itself is now, sometimes I think some people overthink it, right? It's still pretty simple. Like there's only so many sets you're going to run, right? At the end of the day. And a lot of times it's just, hey, are we going to do it better and quicker than you? So I would love to see more fans get the opportunity to do it at any level. Heck, you could go watch film with former players. I just saw Jed Roberts. They actually invited Jed Roberts. Mark Killam invited Jed Roberts out to practice to address the team on what bone is, right? Which is, it's all about the Elks and the brotherhood of, the once an Eskimo, always an Eskimo factor. And so they had Jed Roberts, and he addressed the team after the run through yesterday. And when I was talking to DeBlanco afterwards, man, he was just like, and Jed Roberts has always been a very articulate, very good motivating guy, super funny dude. His caricatures that he used to draw, like he's an amazing drawer. And his caricatures he would draw of his teammates, man, like they loved him in the room. But he was big and physical, great special teamer. Obviously played D-line as well, a little bit of linebacker. But he got in and, in some of my business, you're not going to ask guys, hey, what did he tell you? But I was talking to Joel DeBlanco about it. And he was just like, oh, my God, man. Like, that guy, like, just, I didn't ask what he said, but he was just like, afterwards goes, I got to go meet this guy. Like, he's a linebacker, played, and just how he talks so passionate about kind of the brotherhood of the team. And that's why I think, smart by Killam to wait to do that after a loss to get the guys fired up for their for next one. Hey, Gregor, good take on watching film. I wish everyone had the ability to watch film of all sports. Very good point, Dylan. 100%. Right? Like, because I think there's a lot of time, like you see it and people this guy's at fault on the play. And you're like, well, no, he isn't. Right? Like in hockey, like there was lots of times. And that was a big reason when we got Struddy on because, it's like same with Sean Bell and Schmieder. It's good to have defensemen because a lot of times when there's defensive miscues, everybody just blames the D-man all the time. In a lot of cases, not the D-man's fault. Like based on what you're supposed to do in a situation. Because here's the truth. You have to do your job. And usually what happens is if you try to help the other guy, that causes a bigger problem. Now it's difficult. Sometimes you have no choice, right? There's a busted coverage. You're going to have to help them. But it'd be no different than football, Deck. If all of a sudden, you know what, you're the D lineman or your linebacker or whatever, you're the halfback, and you're going to try to cheat thinking, oh, I got to help my teammate. Well, you end up getting exposed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's so vital as a player, obviously. And then I just think having that added understanding as a fan, like it adds vested interest, right? So I love everything about it.
Hey, boys, I played QB in high school, filmed everything. I think it's a great idea to get Eddie to break down some for fans. Well, yeah, we honestly should look at that. And I think set it up. And we probably even could do it, in conjunction with, I talked to Chris Morris, and I know we could set this up, have it at a place, bring in some tables, have lots of people come down, $5 goes to charity or something, and you get to watch it. And here we'll watch the game, and then you replay and you rewind it. Or even at an intermission, you could bring up some tape from the last game at halftime or beforehand and say, okay, see this situation? What do you guys think happened? Boom, boom, boom. Well, here, now let's watch it on film. And you get to show it the second time. Because a lot of times you need to watch it multiple times, Deck, before you see what you missed the first time. It's hard to pick it up. That's why coaches, they're not lying when they say, well, I need to watch the film, because the film doesn't lie. Right? The film will tell you what you want to see, especially if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, especially in football too, right? Like you can kind of ball watch, you can key in on a guy who's a hot read, whatever it is, but to go back and see each of the 12 men doing their job, you have to go back and watch film, and you have to go back and watch it like 12 times, honestly. So
yeah. So no, it would be great. So Elks and the Redblacks tonight, as Edmonton looks to try to improve to 4-1. Meanwhile, the Redblacks looking for their first win of the season. France, the first team through to the semifinal, if you missed it, after their 2-0 victory earlier today. We will take our final break. We'll come back. We got Cam Tate and the 2-minute warning and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas, just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more. Up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages, plus take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance OAC with Flexity. OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Tom Gazzola weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
Did you know that when you play Colonial Golf Club, just 5 minutes from Edmonton and Beaumont, you can have a monkey be your caddy?
We interrupt this commercial to let you know Colonial Golf Club does offer great course conditions, greens that are always fast and true. We offer memberships, and we have a newly renovated clubhouse with a new menu offering great food and drink, but we do not offer a monkey as a caddy for you.
Oh, man. I really like monkeys.
For more details and to book, visit colonial.ca. Monkey not included. You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. Made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at www.cantork.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
No, welcome back in one final time here on this Thursday on the Jason Gregor Show. Jason stepping out for the final segment ahead of the Elks and Redblacks game tonight. So Declan and Donovan going to be taking you home on this one. We are going to hear from Cam Tate in a moment. We are going to talk a little bit more about our round table discussion. We had differing views on that, and I always love when we argue because I think it's the best sports talk radio. We got a couple minutes to get into that. Before we do anything, we are going to hear from Cam Tate in the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace or your AC. Bundle them together and save more at legacyheating.ca. Here is Cam Tate.
Let me tell you something. The National Hockey League should be thoroughly ashamed of itself. Ashamed. They have taken the Stanley Cup, hockey's one true reliquary, and turned it into a dollar store bucket, abandoned upside down on the sand. A cracked flip-flop nobody claims. A half-deflated beach ball rolling into the surf, forgotten by supper time. That is what they have let it become. Not that dignified cylinder of silver, forged to boldly celebrate the finest professional players this game has ever produced. A goblet's goblet, ladies and gentlemen. And now we put Tom Dundon, Verushka Dundon, Caden Dundon, Dax Dundon, Drew Dundon, Blake Dundon, and Tegan Dundon across the first two lines. 7 Dundons. 2 full lines. Ahead of the general manager. Ahead of the coach. Meanwhile, Joel Nystrom, a man who played 38 regular season games for Carolina, who gave that jersey everything he had, is nowhere on that cup. Neither is the off-ice staff who worked all year to help build a champion. This is a complete black eye for the NHL. How could they allow anything so thoughtless, so ludicrous, so entirely preventable? And let's be precise about what this actually is. This is not an oversight, not some harried engraver's clerical slip. This is vanity dressed up as tradition, entitlement wearing a championship ring. Lord Stanley did not donate a punch bowl so a dilettante could scrawl his family tree across it like a place card at his own reunion. He donated a covenant, forged in sterling, that this game would always be bigger than the man who signs the checks. Mr. Bettman, I don't care where you are. I don't care what vacation you're on. You need to remove this. And you need to form a real policy to end this thoughtless nonsense once and for all. And Mr. Dundon, the Stanley Cup will never be bought so an owner can do what you did. Shame on you. Sir, shame on you. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440.
I think Cam made some unbelievable points in that 2-minute warning. And we talked about this well and good on Fantasy Frenzy today. And Donovan, I want to get your thoughts because we haven't really heard from you on this one. But I think it is absolutely disgraceful. When you look at the people involved in that organization, I know Jason had a great rant about this off the top of the show, but when you look at the people in that organization who made this possible, people, who may have not hit the threshold, but were involved in playing games for the organization, personal trainers, a PR person I had heard who was 25 years with the organization, left off. Also, these kids can be on, like, it is just, and Tom Dundon, this is the other thing, because we now know he owns the Portland Trailblazers as well, and he is not doing very well in NBA circles. He is getting absolutely grinded for some of his treatment of his two-way players, not flying them out to games, for his refusal to pay hotel bills, for not giving Thiago Splitter a contract after the year he just had. So this is kind of built into his reputation. Like, selfishness and cutting corners seems to kind of be what he does. And I just think this is so bottom of the barrel, low bar of Tom Dundon.
Yeah, the word that comes to mind first is it's diabolical. It's gutless.
Gutless is a great word for it.
It's an owner who...
Diabolical makes him sound like a mad scientist.
I'm not
sure if I'd go there. But
it does, but man, like, how you can possibly put... Listen, if you're proud of your kids, you should be. There's obviously exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, you should be proud of your kids, and you should, want to include your kids in things. But to include your kids, you got a 7-year-old kid, you're throwing their name on the cup. I'm sorry. That's just why. Like,
yeah, including your kids is one thing. Including your kids when it means excluding people who were seriously involved in that organization and helped you get there. And I'm not like Tom Dundon. Listen, you're a championship level owner, whatever, credit to you. But for lack of a better phrase, when you're the guy that just signs the checks and that's it, to exclude some pretty important people in the journey of getting there for that 5-year-old or your kindergartner or whatever it was, who, like, let's be honest, they don't care. They don't care. Dad's rich. That's all they care about. Now, maybe one day they'll end up, working for the team, taking the team, whatever. They don't care right now. There are people who really, really, really care. And for them to get excluded, for those kids' name to be there. And again, this isn't supposed to be like, I'm not saying screw the kids or anything. They didn't do anything wrong necessarily, but it's just, you said it best. It's absolutely gutless.
I just don't understand how you can watch your team go to war, right? Your trainers night in and night out go, your locker room staff, all these guys have such a big impact on what goes into an NHL season. And, maybe some fans don't understand necessarily how much these guys do, but they do so much in terms of getting players ready, getting everything all up to the standard. And to not include some of these guys on your cup win, like, it's just, it speaks to a low-class organization.
Yeah, and like, this text comes in from IMAX here on the text line 1-833-401-1440. Get involved in the conversation. He says, you think the league allowed it. Bettman is at least a common sense guy. It's embarrassing. Even if they X them out, the space is still taken up. And that's kind of the point I'm making, because like, even if they get X'd out, now we know Tom Dundon's character. Now we know how he treats people in his organization. Now we know where his priorities lie. And I'm not trying to turn this into like a, hey, family shouldn't be important thing. But there's a difference between family being important and recognizing who was important or who was a part of that journey to the cup. And now we know where Tom Dundon's morals lie and where his standards lie.
To me, the important things to have your family included in when you win a Stanley Cup, bring them out on the ice.
Sure.
That is awesome. There's a reason why you see so many people do that, because that is a moment when the cup's out on the ice and you've just won. That is a moment where you can go out there, you can have fun, you can share the emotional moments with your family and your parents, whatever. But to put the names on the cup, like, there's a reason you're having so many people talk about it today, and it's because it's gutless.
And this is like, what did he think the reaction was going to be?
He didn't care.
Well, that's
Didn't even
probably,
think about.
That's probably a great point.
It speaks to the lack of any and all thought towards the rest of his staff.
Because here's the thing. A lot of people are upset that the actual engraving exists on the Stanley Cup because the Stanley Cup is kind of sacred. I can understand that. I can rationalize with that. My thing is just the disservice to the owners, or to the people involved. Excuse me.
Well, and it speaks to the lack of care or thought towards those people, right? And you hear about bad organizations, and this just shows you, like, and also you hear about in Carolina. I know a lot of players have spoken to the lack of quality about the visitors' dressing room.
Yep.
The lack of. I mean, you heard about Mika Rantanen, right?
How about you trade for a $12.5 million player and put his wife in a Super 8? You want to talk about treatment of people in that organization? You traded for the star you couldn't get, and you sent his wife to a hotel room with 6 cockroaches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and this is the other thing. What I love about the NHL is that the players get to hold the trophy first. I hate that in other sports. It drives me nuts. I've actually thought about this, and obviously I'll never be a billionaire, but I've thought about if I was an owner of a sports team, no way I'm grabbing that trophy first.
No.
But Tom, if it was up to him, he would have loved to be he would have loved to have been the first one to get his hands on Lord Stanley.
Oh, of course. It would have been himself and then his entire family. And then maybe Jordan Staal gets it.
Maybe Jordan Staal gets it. Yeah.
Maybe his extended family would have gotten it before Jordan Staal. But yeah, it's a ridiculous story. There's a reason, and the fact that we might have to watch a bunch of X's. I mean, how many X's would it wind up being? Over 100, just to X out his stupid family's name, and it's not the kid's fault.
And this is what I think about this a lot. What is his tenure as the owner, of the Portland Trailblazers going to look like?
Disaster.
Because that is a league where player empowerment is out the wazoo, and you just went and got Jean Morant. And I actually tweeted this today. It's got no likes so far. Don't worry, guys. I don't take it personally. Send it a like, though. I said, imagine a sit-down meeting with Tom Dundon and Jean Morant. Because I could not imagine a superstar who you just went out and acquired in Jean Morant with the personality traits he has, sitting down with an owner like Tom Dundon and trying to expect that to be a marriage that's going to work out for this Portland Trailblazers team that kind of felt like they were a superstar away of putting him in the top. We're a playoff team last year. Denny took a lot of steps. And then they bring in that guy, and I can just not think of more of a mismatch of personalities.
Yeah, that's entirely fair, right? Like there's a media circus that has followed Jean Morant his entire career, right? And now there's the media circus following Tom Dundon in, his other sports venture. I think you're right there, Deck, in the sense that there's probably going to be some level of a disconnect. And you've already heard about the disconnect, right? In his short time in Portland. But of all the stories that could have come out today, I just don't understand. If you really want your family to have a place on there, why don't you just put Dundon family? Right? That just solves everything.
Yeah.
No? Then you can include more people. If you're really that selfish, just do Dundon family.
And this is the final thing that I'll kind of leave with. None of his family members would have taken it personally if their names were on that cup.
No, not at all.
Cam, we thought we were going to get to a lot more, but your 2-minute warning, it inspired us to go all in on Tom Dundon. So great 2-minute warning to you, Cam. And thank you, Donovan, as well, for your thoughts. I'm glad we got to those. We are going to get to a Sports 1440 update. Excuse me. And Donovan, I believe you have a liner for us.
Yes, I do have the liner. Your Sports 1440 update brought to you by the Nation Golf Tournament. Friday, August the 28th at Millwoods Golf Course. Golf, drink, swag, food, and fun. Every swing supports Gregor's grads and helps graduates shine on graduation day. Early day pricing ends July 18th. So sign up at nationgear.ca before it sells out. Here is Declan Kruger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Scores around the majors in the middle of the fifth. The A's and the Tigers tied 1-1. Marlins lead the Mariners 3-1 in the bottom of the fourth. Phillies and Reds tied at 0-0 in the bottom of the fourth. And the Brewers and Cards with the same score in the bottom of the first. Finals today saw the Braves over the Pirates 10-5. Mets over the Royals 7-3. Yankees big on the Rays 12-4. 2-1 run games. Orioles over the Cubs 3-2, and Red Sox over the White Sox 2-1s. And for all the Guardians and Twins fans out there, that one finished 5-2 in Wimbledon. Today, women's semis. It was Linda Noskova over Marta Kostuk in straight sets. Karolina Mukova needing 3 sets to get past Coco Gauff, including a 12-10 score in the fifth set tiebreaker. Edmonton Elks will be in action in about an hour's time as Week 6 in the CFL kicks off. They're playing host to the winless Ottawa Redblacks. And from around the sporting world, Hayley Wickenheiser announcing her departure from the Toronto Maple Leafs front office. Macklin Celebrini winning double IHF Male Player of the Year, and Dylan Larkin of the Red Wings will now accept a trade to the Dallas Stars, expanding his list to 4 teams. And of course, the big news of the day, in case you missed it, the Anaheim Ducks matching Leo Carlson's offer sheet from the Flyers, taking on a record $18 million AAV. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been Sports 1440 Update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on